Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Fifth at Night, y'all. Let me make sure my sounds is working. There we go. All right, let me bring on my peoples, man. Real quick before I do, shout outs to everyone who tuned in to the TikTok follow-thon marathon stream I did yesterday. Man, somebody asked Fifth, I don't know how you do it. You done did a 12-hour broadcast Sunday and you about to do this show Monday? Hey, man, y'all pray for me. Let me bring my peoples up. Hey, how you doing, brother?
Hey, doing phenomenal, man. How are you?
Good.
How you feeling physically and mentally after doing the 12 hours?
Oh man, I'm gonna be leaning on y'all to really help me out with this show. I got my questions, but I'm counting on y'all. All right.
Okay, we'll do our best.
Let me bring in my Jess. How you doing?
Yes. You never cease to impress. Good evening.
Thank you, Ray. I'm trying my best. Trying to get my aerial today.
Yeah. I almost said Jessica Rabbit, but okay.
That's actually my nickname.
Yeah, I bet it is. Good. Looks like my hold on. Mila, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
There we go.
Mila, what's up, babe?
Hey, Ray.
Hey, how you doing?
Nothing, just trying to get through school. That's it.
Yeah, I hear you.
You gonna be able to cam up today, or what's going on?
I'm outside.
Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. Zacchaeus will be here shortly. Everyone else, I'm not sure, but they got the link, so we're gonna show out today. Regardless, the show must go on. Mila, thank you for yesterday. Hosting the beginning of the stream of the marathon stream. Thank you for your contribution, your topic. Shout outs to you for that. Yeah, Beyonda won't be here today. He's taking a day off. But if he's listening, shout outs to you, brother, man. Good job, man. Zacchaeus will be here later on. Shout outs to Zacchaeus. He had a really good topic. Shout outs to everybody who was there.
I ended up going outside yesterday, and it blew my mind that I missed it. Did you repost anybody's part?
Yeah, your part is up now. Part 2 will be up tomorrow. Part 3 will be up Wednesday, and then my part 4, will be up Thursday on YouTube.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Yeah, no problem. So today's topic, this is Jessica's topic. This is just the romantics topic. Her topic is who controls the pace of the relationship, men or women. So we're going to get into that. Meerkat, if you're listening, pull up when you're ready, okay? I just got to find my questions. Now, Jess, this is your topic. If you have any questions for the panel, you could always pitch it at any time, okay?
Okay.
You have an opening question?
I have more of a, am I wrong? kind of vibe. More like an argument for this. And then I was hoping to see if people would disagree with the argument.
Okay, so you have more of a retort to it once everybody starts talking? Or you waiting like how you yeah.
Like the initial idea. So I guess my initial idea and how we got here.
Go ahead, open it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how we got here was I believe that women actually propose to men more than men propose to women. And we always hear this conversation about how men control access to marriage and women control access to sex. And I don't believe that that's true because I believe women actually propose to men more. And here are some examples. I believe that, or I've seen that women actually propose defining the relationship more often than men do. Women actually propose exclusivity more than men do. Women are actually the ones trying to hint at, we've been shacking up for X amount of years and I'm not no girlfriend for 10 years. Like what this gonna be? Men don't usually have those define the relationship ultimatum conversations. Those are usually women conversations that we have. And so often women are proposing the new relationship, the new evolution, and men, if they like her, will just acquiesce to it. But women often are the ones who lead in a lot of those spaces, which is why I don't think we can accurately say that men hold the access to marriage, because women are the ones really proposing.
Anybody want to go before I go? And has like a rebuttal or a retort to what Jess is saying?
She not gonna argue with me. We're not doing that today. I had a good day. Okay, I gotta air my tape. I ain't doing that today.
Period. I don't think you can argue with the idea.
Anything? Any feedback, Ray?
I'm gonna wait.
You feel the same way I feel.
No, the reason why I'm gonna wait is that this is a complicated topic, and there's a difference between the ideal answer and the realistic answer in this day and age. So I'm gonna wait.
So I guess I'm gonna answer it this way, Jess. I don't know if necessarily as an answer, because it's not really a question, but I do have a response. So Jess, that's a woman. That would be women that are choosing men. Was that in your statement? These are women that are choosing men?
No. I just said women are usually the ones proposing that we should get married, we should stop shacking up, we should define the relationship. What are we doing here? It's usually women who are proposing that idea, dropping hints that we should be more. And then if the man likes her, he'll just acquiesce to that. But we just don't call it her proposing to him. We allow for him to do the event of getting the ring, but often women are the ones saying, it's been 6 years. Here's my ultimatum, right? It's usually women doing that towards the men. And we hear like the whole ball and chain thing, right? It's usually the woman pressing the man for exclusivity, which is why I'm saying it's usually the woman proposing and the man saying yes or no.
But are these men, these men that these women are that are having relationships with, these are men that women want to be with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if these are men that women want to be with, are you saying that women are controlling the pace of that relationship?
I think usually, yeah.
So if women are controlling the pace of the relationships of the example that you just gave, then how come they're not proposing and doing the traditional "Will you marry me" proposition that follows up to all those proposing that you're saying that they do? How come they're not doing that?
I believe it's because of like stigma. And what I'm saying is what we define as the whole "will you marry me" proposal is actually what women do, but in a different language. She'll say, I'm tired of shacking up. Or she'll drop hints that this is my favorite ring. or she'll try to have a ultimatum with you, right? She's not the one getting on the knee because that's not seen as the feminine thing to do, but she's often the one coming to the conversation, basically pushing the issue. The man is chill. He's like, I'm cool. Like, we cool. Why are you complaining? The woman is like, I want to be a wife. I want my last name dropped and my eggs cracked right now. She's the one pushing the issue. She's proposing. Their relationship evolves. So usually the man, if he loves her, will be like, okay, cool. We'll give her a shut up ring, or we'll give her a promise ring, or we'll do the whole thing. But I truly believe it's rarely the man's initial idea. He's always just acquiescing to her initial proposal, because the alternative is that she's going to leave, right? And so that's why sometimes men feel pressured into marriage, because they're like, well, I can't do what I'm doing because she's proposing one thing or the other. She's making me choose. And I think that's, again, the proposal.
So the women that you're speaking of that are doing this, when do they get fed up of waiting? Because you said stigma. So if stigma is what's stopping them from asking formally with a ring, will you marry me? If stigma is stopping them, then what happens when the man doesn't acquiesce to a proposal? Do they continue to still stay, or do they leave?
I think usually women will continue to beat that horse. They'll try to maybe withhold smecks. Maybe she'll try to be more domestic, more feminine, change her look, lose weight. She'll try to mold herself into the man or to the woman that she thinks this man will want, so he will accept. And I think we see that more often, that we don't really have a lot of tools in our tool belt. So we use what's natural and comfortable for us. And oftentimes that's just pushing the issue, nagging it, continuing to bring it up 6 years later, trying to have 3 babies, 4 babies to try to like solidify your position in his life, to try to convince him of something. I think, I'm sure we've all seen that, right? This dynamic where they're not married, but they've been together for 10 years. It's just kind of this weird situation. And so I think that's usually what happens.
So would you say that a woman who's willing to do that and tolerate that, is that a woman who is wise?
No.
So if that's not a woman who is wise, then tell me what the wise woman does.
Oh, she would jump ship. Don't go down with the ship.
What if she feels the same way?
Say it again, Ray.
My question is just, what if she feels that same way as far as dragging? I mean, I'll give you an example. And I know many celebrities and non-celebrities do this too, but I think about Tempest Bledsoe and her man Darryl Bell, who've been together for over 3 decades. They say they like it. They mutually cool with how it is without a ring. So you both say that a wise woman will jump ship, but what if it's mutual?
Well, that situation isn't her giving him like an ultimatum. It's not proposing that their relationship be any different. So if they're comfortable, they've already negotiated what their situation is going to be. This situation is she's not comfortable and she wants him to make a move. And often women are told to drop little hints, so he feels like it was his idea, to not emasculate him, to not usurp his authority. So she'll try to convince you in other ways to make the shift. But to me, that is still her leading. That's still her proposing it. And you are just acquiescing or not to the proposal. But it was her idea.
Well, why couldn't this be, in the getting to know you stage, why couldn't just be stated instead of dropping subtle hits? Why not talk about it in the beginning, so that you both know where you mutually stand or where you individually stand, so that it may become mutual?
Well, I think that happens too. I don't think necessarily women lie often about them wanting to be married. I do think women try to convince men and try to get on that man's program because she likes him. So she often wants him to love her and make the first move. So she'll wait for that. But I don't think women usually are lying about their end goal, usually. I think eventually it comes up that she wants to stop shacking up. She doesn't want to just be a girlfriend. And I think because they get into this very toxic dynamic where she enables his immobility in a sense, then they get into this weird space of she doesn't want to lead. She doesn't want it to be her idea, but it's going to be her idea because he won't do anything about it. And she doesn't have the self-confidence to pivot because she feels like she's invested all this time in trying to convince him. Why would I want to leave and try to go find somebody else? So it's a very, very weird, toxic, demoralizing cycle.
So you're saying that it's her fear of starting over, which is a contributing factor as to why she'll stay, or should I say tolerate this?
Absolutely. I'm sure you all have heard that term, the devil I know versus the devil I don't. I think I'm saying that wrong. But sometimes the comfort is in the familiarity. Even though we know this thing is a very painful thing for us, at least it's something we know. We can anticipate it. And it's harder to anticipate the jungle. So you kind of stay in your camp.
I see.
Okay, so we just established that looks like some business needs to be conducted. Y'all give me a second. I'm gonna ask y'all a question and then I gotta conduct some business real quick. So the question I have here is there a difference between controlling the pace and influencing the pace of a relationship? This kind of ties into what Jess is talking about. Is there a difference between controlling the pace and influencing the pace of the relationship?
Mila, do you want to go ahead?
Whoever wants to go first.
Something to say about what you said, Jess, which I do think is true. Before I answer your question, if a woman would stay because she's scared to move on, I stayed because I was scared to move on. But then I found my footing. And it was deuces. I don't have time for it no more. Mm-hmm. So I'm not 17, 18 years old no more to where I can put up with the childish games and go back and forth. I don't want to do that. I'm about to be 34 years young. Okay. I'm not getting old. I'm getting young. Mm-hmm. And I refuse to put up with that again. I'll be single for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm. Better to be single than in bad company.
Yeah, I do. And back to your question, Fifth. You said, is it controlling or
the difference between control and influence the pace of the relationship?
I think it depends on the two people that's in the relationship. Because there's always somebody that wants to control it. But then you have these men and women that look at outside relationships and be like, oh, this is how I want to be. And they build their whole relationship on the influence that they have, and then they try to influence you to be like everybody else. When you can't do that, it's not possible because you don't know how they got there.
And I would think that control has a subtext of trying to you're tied to the outcome of it, is really what I'm trying to say. When you can be separate from the outcome, I believe you're in a place of influence, because I know that the outcome of this doesn't define my worth, doesn't define my self-esteem, and it's just something that I would like to happen, but I'm not going to force this thing to happen. I think control is there is a outcome that I will push for until the end of time, and there is no pivoting. And I do think that often when women propose the idea and then try to convince this man of the idea, she has now left that influence box and is now in the controlling box.
I think the influence, a lot of the influence may not even come within the internal boundaries of the relationship, as I think Miller stated. You have your own idea of what progression is, but then you do have external influences like your peers, like your acquaintances, even celebrities. You know, you incorporate different ideals. That's really, I think, a lot of that type of influence can affect that. As far as the control, yeah, that's a different story, because even if you have said woman who may verbalize how she would like to see things progress and end up, um, I don't know if that's control, because if if the guy if the guy doesn't acquiesce, which also does happen, and they remain in limbo, then I can't see how control is in the picture. If he doesn't give in or agree to what she's hoping will happen. So I think that influence and control, they're not the same.
Well, the last thing you said would be controlling, because she doesn't have a threshold of when she will just back out. And the number one tool of a great negotiator is knowing when to back out. If you have no line where you're like, okay, this is it for me, then you can just be given anything. You'll fall for anything because you have no pivot. And so I do think when women stay in a situation where the man is not acquiescing, in her head, she's like, he's not doing it yet. So she's going to keep forcing the issue. And I have been that girl, 6 years trying to force an issue. And it was crazy. And it's all because I thought I could convince him to do something. So it was controlling for me to stay there, even though I said I love him, it was great. Da, da, da. No, I was really there to really prove a point. After a certain time, it was just to prove a point, because I have built so much of this, what I thought was momentum towards this outcome. And I couldn't be removed from it because my self-image, my self-worth was tied to getting this outcome. So if you cannot pivot, that means, I do believe that means you're in a place of trying to play God, trying to control. And it's a bad place to be in for, it means it's not like a healthy relationship at that point.
I'd like to say something. Earlier, your opening was talking about all the things that answer the topic question of who really controls the pace of a relationship. Everything you gave was what women do, but I don't know if you were typically saying that you felt that women really control the pace of the relationship or not. So I'm gonna ask you, for who really controls the pace of a relationship, men and women, your answer is men. Is it the men or is it the women who really control the pace? Once you answer that, then I can get to my next thing.
I believe it's women.
Okay. So what you mentioned in your opening is actually descriptions of how women actually influences a relationship. Because you said it was, as far as the main objective, that it is the stigma of why she hasn't fully said, well, will you marry me? And then they walk down the aisle, right? So then I'm willing to argue that men still control that, because he acquiesced to everything else except actually getting on one knee and proposing to said woman. So that would mean that the woman actually, by definition, in your opening, influenced the pace, but she still does not control the pace, because if he doesn't say, will you marry me, then because of the stigma, which is actually holding her back, she would say no. No, that he wouldn't propose, that she wouldn't do the actual form of proposing, that it would actually be the man that would still control that, because guess what? no one gets married unless the man wants to. So at the end of the day, the man still controls that. Guess what she controls? She controls herself, leaving the relationship like a wise woman should. But if she stays, then she is a what? A fool. And why do women foolishly do all of these things that we're talking about that may come off as positive to the men that don't want them back, as opposed to the man who actually would want the woman? He don't need to be told, let's when we gonna get married. He don't need to be told, I'm tired of shacking up. That man would actually know exactly what to do, because a man with a plan don't need a woman to keep nagging him and telling him when we gonna get married, because when a man chooses, he leads that.
And so, Fifth, I would say.
Hold on, just real quick. Mila, what did you just say?
I said time out because you just put a lot on the table, okay? You just laid it out. And I understand that, yeah, the man is supposed to propose, but you don't see that lately. It's always a woman doing it. And a woman shouldn't have to propose to a man. And I'm not saying it to argue, because I'm gonna say that because towards the middle and the end, me and Jess always disagree somewhere. So
Okay.
all I'm saying is all men are not built for marriage. Even though they can say that's what they want, they can say that's what they going to do, and then they go along with it, and then they be like, oh well, damn, I found somebody better. Divorce. I found somebody better. I'm cheating.
It could be the incompatibility factor, though.
I found somebody better. We finna have a whole family together. I don't know what you gonna do. So sometimes a woman have to step up and propose, because a man won't do it. 9 times out of 10, he probably thinks she after his money, not even knowing what she can bring to the table, or he just gonna be a bum in a relationship. That's not all men. I'm not saying that's all men. You two don't come at me like that.
A homosexual.
Exactly. But but I'm not saying it's all men, but it happens.
See, this is why Pookies win. Because I just sat up here and gave women an option. You don't have to be with a man that you have to pull those strings with. And that's why I said a man who wants to marry you, he don't need to be told these things, Mila.
No, I heard what you said, but just because he wants to marry you and he gets to marry you, don't mean he wants to stay with you.
But it's also hard to do, though. Like, that's easier heard than done, Fifth. To just leave a situation alone that you want to be in. I mean, desire, is so big for a lot of people. And again, they tie their self-image to it. So you're really asking them to redefine themselves outside of this relationship. And I think the intervention should have happened before they even got together. So they didn't create a dynamic where this relationship defined them. But now we're here 3 years later, 4 years later, this relationship is my personality and I want us to move forward. And it's hard to pull yourself away from that. I mean, obviously it's necessary to create healthy dynamics, but I just think it's hard. And which is why, to your whole point, just because the man gets down on one knee, that's not the only way you can propose marriage to somebody. It's just the cultural way we.
I said formal proposal as well.
Yeah. So even the word formal, it's the cultural definition that we have to symbolize the marriage proposal. But there's many other ways men propose. There's many other ways women propose, right? So it doesn't have to be that one aspect. It doesn't have to look that one way. But two, if it was the woman's idea and the man is just saying, okay, fine, sure. how is it not her leading that? How is she not the one steering that ship? Like if a parent says, oh, it's time to potty, and the child just says, okay, the parent led that, even though the child acquiesced to it. Now the child is trying to take its autonomy to learn how to potty. It was still the parent's idea first.
Hold on. When I say a formal proposal, I mean, we're not just talking about marriage. I actually asked you. Okay? So I asked you, do you want to get married? You say yes or no. That's what I mean by a formal proposal. I mentioned one knee as well, but then I also said formal proposal because every proposal doesn't just start with being on one knee, because a lot of men in other countries, they don't get on one knee at all. I ain't never seen in some of the African countries, they ain't getting on one knee. You know, some of the countries by the name of Yemen and Saudi Arabia, they don't get on one knee. But like I said, formal proposal, meaning this is no longer just a conversation about being married. It's we're getting married. And you're saying that the women who you believe control the pace of the relationship, or have a stigma to why they're not doing it, right? So then, I'm gonna read that in a second out for the first one, but then it's like this, right? Mm-hmm. You said change is hard. What else is? Would you say trying to achieve collegiate education is hard or challenging?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah.
Okay, but you do it anyway, right? Or maybe not you, but somebody's going to do it anyway, right? Yeah. If somebody, it's hard to become. Okay, let me just do this and get to my point. It's hard to become a doctor, and the reason why it's hard to become a doctor is because of the percentage of doctors that we have. It's hard to get into the NFL because of the percentage of players who actually make it to the NFL. It's hard to get into, it's hard to be a president, you know, because of the percentage of how many men or women or whatever, or people get to the office, but they do it, but they fight for whoever who fights for it anyway, right? So if change is hard, if you really want to change, then you will. But I would argue that most people, because change is hard for them, are just complacent. So what we're talking about is complacent women who are in relationships with the men that they obviously want, who probably before they got the man that they want, they have denied the man who probably wants them, who would have gave them the world. So ladies, I beg of you, stop doing the right things for the wrong man.
I heard I was summoned.
J Dub's in the building.
Hello, J Dub.
Like Queen.
Mila, what'd you say after me?
You guys.
I agree with you, because I was one of them women doing all the right things but all the wrong man.
Mm-hmm.
And do I regret it? Like hell I do.
Yeah.
Wasted 18 years of my life.
And you know what? I actually agree with Jess's statement about women controlling the pace of the relationship with only one condition, with the condition that the woman is a fool. Because if she was wise, she would not stay in a situation where she's doing pretty much everything. But then I would also say to this, because I thought that we live in a world of equality, or women wanted equality. There are many women, Jessica, who really want equality, and I mean real equality, not special treatment. Because a lot of women will say they want equality, but it's really just special treatment. For the women who want equality, they're not complaining about controlling the pace of the relationship and proposing to their man, because they understand that that's something that they wanted anyway.
Yes, they are. No, nowhere in any feminist manifesto did it say we want the ability to propose to men. No, the whole feminist manifesto was about the access to property, the access to voting rights, the access to representation, access to money. It's not about removing cultural things, like, because I don't think there's anything intrinsically wrong about the man proposing, right? Like that's culturally based. That has nothing to do with feminism. And I think when people bring that up, it just shows that they don't know what feminism is, which is why we still need it. I wish we didn't need feminism, because people would just get a clue, but you know.
Let me read this real quick, and I'm gonna let J Dub get on this. There is Alpha. The first one says there is rules in the regulation, therefore no one controls the pace of relationship. It's a free for all real talk. He also says women control access to sex, men control access to relationships. Once a man get the kitty, she has no power to get him to stick around. That's the good old why marry a cow when you can get the milk for free reference. The problem is, Alpha the first one also says, the problem is after she goes with the wrong man, the right man is not going to want her. No man want to be the cleanup man, i.e. second choice, real talk.
That's a lie, because men get in line all day to run trains on people. So
That part.
what are you talking about?
Wait, that's not what he's talking about, Jessica.
But
Jesus
it is though.
Christ.
But it is though, because because men, he himself is trying to promote this idea that no man wants nobody's dirty seconds or sloppy seconds, but they do. Men do it all the time. Men do it all the time, especially for the woman that they felt they couldn't get when they had no money. The second they got some motion, some options, they want that exotic flower that they felt like they didn't deserve when they was down bad. So men do it all the time. Men come after people all the time. You think Lori Harvey has less options now because she's had a public relationship with Future and Michael B. Jordan? No. Men want their peace all the time.
So, Jess, if a woman proposes to a man, are you celebrating that, or are you pulling out your feminist manifesto and saying, yeah, that ain't what we fought for? What are you doing?
It's not anti-feminist for her to do that. So depending on the circumstances, like when they do it in Scotland, I think that's great. Okay. There's like a day that the women switch roles with the men and they propose on this mountain, and it's like a traditional thing, and I think it's beautiful. But because they have a culture of doing that, I think there's a positive intent. Us in America, women are often trying to propose because they're trying to control the outcome and trying to control what this man wants and what he does, which is, like I said, not healthy.
Are you familiar with the rapper Jim Jones?
The one who wouldn't get married to the lady in Love and Hip Hop?
Yeah, that's Jim.
Okay, are you familiar with that proposal and how that happened?
I'm not familiar with the proposal. I thought they were still engaged.
I'll just say it. I was asking. So
explain it.
Okay, so season 1 of Love and Hip Hop, at the time, I think Jim and Chrissy were together for 10 to 15 years. That was season 1 of Love and Hip Hop. So this is going all the way back.
Yes.
In that season, she proposed to him and said, "Will you marry me?"
I remember that.
You know what his response was?
I forgot. No.
Stand up. We got to go over here and talk.
Hate that for her.
What did I say? If the man don't want to get married, it's not going down. Now,
if the
obviously,
women don't want to get married either. I mean, you can say that for both people.
Right, we can.
But I'm saying usually it's the woman who proposes it. That was my whole point.
Well, no, this is the woman who may influence it, and the reason why Chrissy stuck around is because of the lifestyle that has been provided that she has been getting from Jim Jones. She's not willing to see if she can get that from a man, so she's taking on your quote of she rather just deal with the devil she know than the devil she don't.
Can I ask you a question, Fifth?
Yeah, go ahead.
When a man proposes to a woman, does he know what he wants?
I'm not even going to be the only man that's going to answer that. I'll let Ray answer it too, but I'll go first.
Because this is a two-parter.
When a man proposes to a woman, yes, he definitely knows what he wants. When a man doesn't propose to a woman, you figure that out.
Ray, what do you think? When that man proposes, when that moment where the man proposes, does he want to get married?
Most of the time, the answer is yes. Most of the time.
And so that's really all I'm saying. We try to flip it to say that when she's proposing, it's only influence because he can say yes or no, and she has to still be asked. No, she just becomes the man in the general scenario that we have. The man, when he proposes, he already has a yes in his heart, and he's just asking for her to accept the yes that's already in his heart. And so when we flip it and the woman does it, she already has a yes in her heart, and she's asking the man to say yes to that. And so that's all I'm saying is usually the dynamic that we don't see laid out on social media is that the woman is having the conversation where I already want to do this. I'm tired of being a single mama. I'm tired of being a Jones. I want to be a Mrs. I want this. And she is just trying to convince this man to already say yes. I mean, men do that all the time. Men have a yes and they want her to agree. And to me, that's a very clear dynamic. So outside of that, I don't know how we can say she's not proposing.
So wait,
outside of the flowers and everything and the doves, women propose all the time.
okay, so Fifth, before you say what you finna say, because I see your hand moving. I know you want to say something. Before you say what you finna say, you saying the man has a yes in his heart. What if she still says no?
Then they don't get married.
Because she don't, just because he thinks she's gonna say yes doesn't mean she's gonna say yes. Maybe she's not ready or financially stable in her mind to be married.
Yeah.
And let's not get on the topic of financial stability. I won't keep it directly on your topic, but I just have to do it.
I mean, then simply put, they don't get married.
Yet.
And most times, okay, I have a follow up, and I need to get J-Dub in the conversation. So
okay,
then
that's fine.
so then they don't get married, and two things could happen: a relationship continues or the relationship ends because she said no.
Mm-hmm.
What if she tell him to come back in 6 months? Is that controlling?
She's risk. She's I would say that is a game of risk. Yes. Yeah. Ray, say it again. If he acquiesce.
Yeah, if he acquiesce, then you can say it's controlling, but he's allowing himself to be that simp.
Oh my gosh!
What?
How is that a simp?
So what you just said.
Stand up.
Listen to what you just said. You're saying come back in 6 months. I think that any self-respecting man would not accept those terms. What you mean come back in 6 months? It's either now or never.
Now or never, so he doesn't love her?
Well, J-Dub, but does she love him? Why she tell him to come back in 6 months?
We're mad.
Because she has that choice.
Yeah. And then he has that choice to do what?
To say yes or no.
No,
But
to stay or leave, right?
She didn't say no completely. So it's like if he is like, nah, I'm good, then obviously he doesn't love her that much. And then in reality, who has that control of the relationship then? It's not the man, right? It's not men in general, because the woman has the last say so.
Yes. And then the man say so is, all right, I'll see you. And then it ends. See, here's the thing, ladies. It's okay to say no to a proposal. That's your choice. But don't get mad at him when his choice is to go.
What got mad?
Well, you can't control a man when he ready to go. Let him go.
Thank
Don't
you.
fight him. Oh, I want you. I love you. I should have did this and I should have did that. Well, hey, you had your chance and you didn't do it. Let that man go be free.
If ladies are saying my body, my choice, which is which I'm not arguing against in this conversation, then a man should say right. Then a man should say my ring, my choice.
Exactly. Give it back. Don't take it because you ain't got no money when you leaving the relationship. Or when he leaving the relationship.
These sound like
You leave with what you came in with. He came in with the ring, he take the ring when he go. As long as he don't give it to another female. You never give a female the same ring.
Which is why I think that women actually invest in their relationships more. You know,
Fifth is not funny.
Jessica, okay. I want you to repeat that statement. Women do what?
Should I repeat it?
Yeah.
I said this is why I think women generally invest in their relationships more than men.
Invest how?
Time, effort, money, attention, all the things.
Sure, it ain't the biological clock.
Hold on, wait, Ray. Jess, what did I just say earlier? I've invested that for 18 years and got nowhere. It's pointless.
But Mila, I'm not talking about if it's the intrinsic good. I'm saying when people say, well, women initiate most of the divorces, so clearly women don't care about relationships. I'm like, women actually care about relationships the most because it's women who are trying to convince the men to be there, women who are being fools, like Fitz said, and delusional, trying to get this fairy tale together. So if anything, she's the one who's throughout her lifetime investing more in her relationships, her romantic relationships, especially
into men who don't want them mutually, and that's the problem. I listen.
That's not the point I made.
It's the point. It's my rebuttal to your point because I'm telling you, a lot of women need help from themselves. They don't listen to the wise counsel that tells them beforehand that this is not the right guy. But when you want to take matters into your own hands, then you're left to your own devices. So then you were left under your own devices. You said that was what you wanted. You wanted to control the pace of the relationship. And then when you don't get the results that you want, now you mad?
Of course.
I thought that was equality.
You still could be mad at the outcome. You didn't want the outcome.
Okay. So if you wanted to control the pace of the relationship, right? And you don't get the results that you wanted. So do we look at you or do we look at the man?
The woman looks at herself all the time. That's why women will often try to recomposition themselves. Like I said, change their hairstyle, become more feminine, lose weight, do this, do that, take etiquette classes. She's trying to become the woman he would like. Women will often mold themselves into this vision and fancy to appeal to the male gaze and the male audience and her guy. That to me is still trying for something, still politicking and campaigning for it, which I don't think men generally do that at the rate women do. Of course, men will often try to mold themselves, when they're not sure of who they are. I just think women do that more. Women invest that more.
Big time. That's why you normally only hear women say they lost themselves in a relationship. Compared, men don't normally say that.
Oh my gosh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't I just say earlier? I found myself after these years.
Once again, I'm hearing all these great things that women do
Yep.
to men who don't. Wait, hold on, Mila, hold on 1 second. This is gonna be a clippable moment.
Oh my gosh.
I'm hearing all these great things that women do. You know what the common denominator is? Is that they're doing all these great things to the wrong man.
Checkmate.
I said something to Jess that Jess didn't agree with a long time ago, but I'm willing to stand on that business to this day. And that is, most women, I believe, have passed on their Mr. Right. So then they get with Mr. Now and try to make him Mr. Right. All of the examples that Jess gave led to that conclusion. She will change her hair. She will change her attitude. She will change her diet for the man who won't even change his drawers.
That's a stretch.
It doesn't make sense that women who I'm giving credit to being smart individuals, but they become stupid when they don't use those same skills to apply that to maybe who may be the right man. The right man, they didn't want that man. They didn't want him. But the right man is not going to have these issues. The right man is a man who already knows what his call to action was before you even said anything out of your mouth to push him in a way that he needs to go. The thing is, this is what I'm seeing. Y'all women are getting with men and you're raising them like your sons. That's not how that's supposed to work. You do not mother a man to become your husband. That man is already a husband before you get him.
Why are you saying things like this?
I'm speaking with logic. I'm speaking with logic.
Well, no, I know you're trying to, but I have a lot of issues with what you said because there's a lot of assumptions that have to be made for what you say to be true. Like one big assumption that has to be made is that you only have one chance. There's only one person on the entire earth that you could ever be married to. And so if you do not get with that one chance, that one right guy, you're done. How would you say that? Because that would mean that anybody who is a widow could never be remarried. Anybody who is 50 years old, they could never marry down the line. Like you have to assume that, which I think is not fair to anybody. But then also you have to assume that the guy she passed on was the right guy. To who? There's all of these assumptions about his quality for her. But if she didn't think he was the right guy, then how can we then make the determination that he was right for her? A lot of times women think the guy that they're trying to convince is their knight in shining armor, is that guy. And maybe he just has a lot of trauma, or maybe he just never been with a woman like me. And maybe he just need me to show him how good it is to be loved by me. And I'll convince him that he don't have to be so hard and so cold. All these things run through our head because we believe he is the guy. And we're trying
go ahead. Finish your point.
I'm just saying we're trying to make a situation fit because of that belief, even though it could be Delulu. All I'm saying is there's a lot of assumptions that have to be made about what you said, Fifth, for all of what you said to be true.
What? All right. With the woman you just described, could it be a simple case that she just loves chaos and hates peace?
I don't want no peace. I want problems. Play that one. Play that one.
I can't do it.
Yes.
Because I
didn't
speak
hear
it. I said no. The remark I make is couldn't it just be a case where she loves chaos and hates peace? Because if she's going to spend what's perceived to be her valuable time trying to convince a chaotic man that he don't have to be chaotic when she passed over a peaceful man that's willing to give her the world, what the heck does that say about her mentality?
Ray, you think she passed over a man who wanted to give her the world? Again, you're assuming. You're assuming she met a guy who was so countercultural to all of these quote unquote chaotic guys, and that she was just like, no, I'm gonna turn around. A lot of times, birds of a feather flock together. So if she is a chaos agent, she's around chaos agents. She probably has a very superficial view of relationships and what she's attracted to. So she's just finding out of all those men, who's the one who will pay enough attention to me for a sustained period of time. And just because of the time they spend together, people then try to say that we're supposed to be together and we've done all these things together. We've been through so much. But you don't have the proper vetting tools to know if that should be the partnership you should be in. All I'm saying is healthy people could probably see that coming from a mile away. But we're talking about the perspective of this person who believes she has to convince a man, who believes she has to campaign and audition for love because it's never been readily given to her. And now she's here with a man who fits these superficial values and he's just not making a move. So she doesn't think he's a chaos agent. She thinks he's the one. And I kind of think we're being a little elitist in our mindset when we try to say that she passed on a good guy or she friends on a good guy. And if she would just open her DMs, she would have opportunities. You're being an elitist when you say that.
Also, I want to add too that normally, and I don't know what the conversation was before, but normally the guy or whoever is the chaos person in that relationship, if it's not both, they're not showing it right away. That's something that like gradually goes by. Like they gradually break your boundaries. It's not like they're doing it right up front. Like you're already in love with that person normally when you start seeing all this stuff. And then once you're in love, it's really hard to look away from that. You know what I mean? And if he was Mr. Right for her and she liked chaos, then it's not Mr. Right or it's not Mrs. Right for him. They're not like, if it's Mr. Right, then you guys will be together no matter what, because that is Mr. Right. And maybe it's not. I don't think that's how that works. Like you pass on something. I think everything that's supposed to be for you will be for you.
And you'll just vibrate at the frequency you're at. Mm-hmm. So I would never recommend that a person, let's say she's this Delulu chaos agent, I would never recommend for her to be with the peaceful guy that we're talking about. Because now she's going to bring his energy and his vibration down. They're probably not a good match to begin with if she is attracted to other chaos agents like her. So he would still not be Mr. Right to her. Objectively, we could say that in the world, but to her, to this woman that we're trying to reprimand, he wasn't the one.
Well, and maybe she had to go through all that turbulence.
She wasn't the one, because if we're talking about a woman of chaos, she ain't the one. That is a woman who should not be getting married to anyone. A woman of chaos.
We just said that.
It's right. Yeah. So when we go through this, Miss Right, Mrs. Right, Mr. Right, and all the other stuff, the problem that we're doing is that number one, what women are experiencing is a long form of rejection, which men know a thing or two about rejection very easily. What I'm proposing is this. There go that word again, propose. What I'm proposing is that women, when you're trying to get a man who you feel is the right man or whatever it is, you need to stop vetting him alone. Somebody brought up on the marathon yesterday on TikTok that I did, right? I forgot which, I think Beyond it did, but I forgot which topic it was at the time. When he was saying that, wouldn't it be better if the woman had a network of men in her family that help vet that man out? Because when women are left to their own devices, that they're picking wrong. And the argument was, the argument is it's not always her picking wrong. Okay, it's not always her picking wrong, but when things don't go right, it's the man that gets blamed, and it's not necessarily the woman who gets blamed for picking wrong. So are you better alone picking the guy, or are you better having a network of men in your family helping you pick the guy? Which one do you want? If you reject the men in your family helping you pick a guy, and you want to put it all on you picking a guy, then you have to accept the results.
Of course.
Do you really think that these guys are acting the same way that they're acting with her to the men, or the men in her life, if he were to meet them?
Well, here's the thing about men, right? Because we're talking about a network of men, right? The network of men are going to do a couple of things. They're men themselves. If they're men of honor and integrity, because these are the only men that I'm talking about. I'm talking about men of honor and integrity and dignified men here. Okay? These men are going to look for honor and integrity, and if the man has dignity in the man that you're bringing to him, they're going to try to find that in him. If they don't find that, then they're going to tell you that man ain't it. You know what you're going to tell the men in your family? But I love him.
I'm saying though, okay, keep going.
No, what I'm saying is when your feelings are involved, sometimes your judge of character slips, and you need somebody outside of that to be a second set of eyes, to be a second set of standards, because there are things that your mind is already clouded by. So the men in your family could break that down for you a little better than you can in that moment because you got too involved.
I see where you're coming from. All I'm saying is that man's going to be on his best behavior. Behavior. And if you're like, I don't know what type of like man we're talking about, but let's say like AB, like a person who ABs, like they only do that to that one person. No one else in their family or normally in their like work environment, their friends know that even happens. It's like they're only that way towards that one person. So they're really good at hiding stuff. That's all I was trying to say.
No,
and a lot of the time, even if like your friends or your family is saying that person's not good for you, that person is going to like the woman, or let's just say the woman is going to try everything in her like power to prove them wrong.
So you made my other point.
I mean, kind of in a way, but I'm just being truthful. I don't think it's always the best thing.
Can I also say that I think if we're getting to a point where the woman in the scenario doesn't trust the feedback of her community, of her family members, then that separation is not because of the boyfriend. That lack of trust is something baked into the foundation of their family dynamic, where she does not trust their feedback. And she doesn't trust that they always know the right thing to do. And therefore, even if she did have this community vetting, she's like, sometimes y'all be wrong. Or I know what kind of marriage you have. I know what you be doing on Saturdays at a cigar lounge, and you trying to ttell me about this guy. Mm-hmm. It could be a range of things. And again, I think it's super idealistic for us to be like, oh yeah, these women have a group of men who are all full of integrity and honest and kind and gentle people who are led by the Holy Spirit. Usually she's going to be surrounded by men who may be a little in a gray area, and maybe sometimes they just have some good points. And so with all of that stimuli, she's trying to make the best decision, coupled with, like you said, Fifth, a compromised critical thinking, And so I do think a lot of women are just doing the best they can with the cards they're dealt. And that's why I believe early intervention about like your self-worth, about your dynamic, about your relationship, platonic relationships with other men will always seep into your romantic relationships with men.
Also, to play on that part, a lot of the time, women who do love chaos or that feels normal to them, it's because they grew up with that. So women pick men who act like their father or who remind them of their father. So do you really think that's a good scenario to bring their father into it, or the brothers or their males in their family? They're probably not that great either.
So
J-Dub, all the male members of my family are trifling people. trifling. And I didn't know that, right? Because I love my dad, love him. He's so great. But he was not like the emotional part of my life. You know, he was more of the bank a lot of times in my life. And so as I was dating, I didn't realize, but I was recreating that relationship with my father and all these other men. And I thought I was being smart. I thought I was picking good, godly boys who go to church. And I was just picking emotionally unavailable men who were familiar to my nervous system. And so the thing that I had in my childhood, I just recreated it in my adulthood until I became self-aware and started to operate on a higher frequency. So at the time, those guys were my guys. They were my right guy.
Exactly.
And objectively now, looking back at 19-year-old Jessica, I was tripping. But at the time, I thought I was doing the best I could, honestly.
Well, and it's
So
funny that you say oh, I'm so sorry.
no, you fine, J Dub. Jess, you felt like Mary J. Blige. You and Mr. Wrong.
Oh my gosh.
Getting along so good, and then he broke your heart.
I don't know if you were here when we first got up here, but I was in a thing for 6 years trying to audition for this role of wifey for 6 years. Crazy. I would go meet him, and then after that we'll go cry in my car. And then be like, I'm done with this. And then I'll wake up and be like, maybe I was in the wrong. Maybe I just wasn't feminine enough. Maybe I was too aggressive. Let me go and try to be better. And just 6 years of just doing that, And it's almost like, I think a lot of women get a bad rap for staying in these toxic relationships, but she's trying to work it out. She wants the thing to be successful, And it's like, she always gets reprimanded for being there too long. Yeah. But I'm like, I think we should really reprimand the men who don't have the emotional integrity, because it seems like at that point they can see her blowing up, they can see her spiraling, and they still take advantage of that. And again, women do it all the time, where you have the simp guy who is trying to convince the woman. But the person who can see this person spiraling, you have to have the emotional integrity to say, I'm not going to take from you because I know I cannot give back to you. And I just think that's a twofold conversation.
Ray, do you see what I'm seeing, Ray?
Kind of, sort of.
Okay.
Look at Ray. Really funny.
So again, y'all are just terrible at picking men. So you can't do this by yourself. You can't. So this is why I said, y'all need to find a community of men who are dignified, who have honor and integrity to help you. Because when you do it alone, you end up in the results that all of you guys are talking about.
Or why don't you guys start reprimanding the men who are lying to all these women? Because in fact they are lying. And what Jess was talking about, that's gaslighting, where she's like, shit, maybe it's me. I mean, I'm crying in the car because this whole situation, but let me maybe I didn't do something right. Like, that's gaslighting. It really is. And I bet you beforehand, when they were talking and stuff, he was gaslighting her. Why is it always the women have to do better? Why not the men start having fucking counseling with each other and learn how to be better men?
Yeah, J-Dub, watch your mouth.
Sorry.
Okay. No, you're cussing.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry.
here's the thing. I'm gonna stay right there. I ain't running from that. Why don't you men tell these men to stop lying? You know what men are actually doing? The men of honor and integrity and dignified slot those men that you guys are talking about in a different category, and we're telling you to stay away from them. And you're not listening to us.
Wait, what did you say before you said that? You said men of integrity, and then what was it?
They're putting those men in a different category.
I said dignified men who are dignified, who have integrity, and who God, I said another thing. I keep saying it because I have to tell you, the men, we slot those men. We put those men in a category. Okay, we slot them in a category of men that we tell y'all women to stay away from. and y'all don't listen to us.
How is that addressing the men though? You're still addressing the women.
We're addressing the women in a way that would help them do a better job of knowing who to pick and who not to pick.
Fifth, that's
In
not
terms of
helping the
wait,
women.
I'm almost there. We're telling you to get with the men who are already dignified, who are honorable, and who have integrity. And y'all don't think that those men are attractive. So then we leave y'all alone so y'all can pick what y'all want.
Yeah,
Now,
but
fifth, please, let's think about this numerically, fifth. If there are more women who are pivoting away from bad men, then there are bad men who are becoming good men. At some point, the ratio of women who are trying to do better will outnumber the options they have to pick from.
Bingo!
That's a problem, Fifth.
No.
If there are more educated, more centered, more disciplined women in the dating realm, then there are good men to pick from. That's a problem. And
I'm gonna tell you what you just did.
Hold on.
I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna tell you what you just did. Watch.
Okay.
You
I feel like you're gonna tell me something.
Realize.
I feel like you're gonna tell me something, and it's not gonna be anything about what I said because you've been doing it for the last almost 2 hours. So
you
we'll
cooked
see.
and you didn't realize.
But all I'm saying is that when J-Dub brought it up, women often bring this up. Why do y'all address us? Address them. Talk to the men. And if anything, y'all could be creating more decent guys. So then this whole argument of the woman be friend zoning the good guy could actually be true. But there's not enough good guys for anybody to actually say most women friend zone them or pass on them to go after the Bookies and the Ray Rays and stuff like that.
Because marriage is not a right, it's a choice. Not every woman is going to be married, and not every woman is good. I reject that notion. Okay? So the thing is that for the men, when they see that the women who outnumber them are no longer seeing them as an option, then survival of the fittest kicks in, and those men will probably get right because they're realizing that they're not getting the results they used to get when they barely had to do anything to even do about themselves. So the thing is that if the women get right first or the men get right first, I don't care about the order.
I do.
No.
Thank you, J-Dub.
You know why you do? You know why you do, J-Dub? I'm gonna tell you
We
why
both
you
said at
do.
the same time.
Because you already admitted that you like toxic men.
No, I did back in my day. I was only 19.
Okay, cool.
I thought y'all were the leaders.
Cool.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say. Men are
No,
the leaders. Why
no,
are women the one who have to lead the way?
No, we all
We
leaders.
alphas.
Right. This is where the not listening comes in. Didn't I just say that the men who are dignified have been telling women stay away from them?
There's
That's not
women
leadership.
that are lying
you
to you.
emphasize the word dignified too. You did.
Yeah, maybe
not leadership.
they don't know what dignified means. Let me go ahead and pull up that
Yeah, but the
that
thing
definition.
is, Fifth, I get what you're saying, but saying stay away from these men who aren't dignified, who aren't men of God, who aren't, good, this and that. These men are lying to them. They are lying to women, saying and portraying this good guy most of the time until the women are in it. And then it's like, it's, I don't want to say it's too late, but it's hard. Once you see it, it's hard to get out. These men are lying.
And you're
Well,
also
love is
losing
a-
your point.
I'm telling her
Love
what
is
she
a
wants
risk
to
on
hear
both
so I
ends,
can
though.
smash.
Thank
But
you.
you're
all
also
the
losing
time.
your point, Fifth. The point you just made was if men see that they don't have enough options to pick from with the women because the women are finally becoming on this higher frequency,
They raise their standards.
then the men will raise their standards because survival of the fittest. So
Yes.
in that scenario, they're not leading. They are just responding to something. They are following the lead of the women who are now trying to be better. So then they try to be better. But so the order does matter in that dynamic you just presented, because if we have to be better, so you'll be better. If we have to be pure, so men will be pure, then we're the leaders. So
No.
it can't be both. You
No,
either
because-
go first or you don't. And we're the leaders. We propose. We control it. Pick one.
No, because
Yep.
what happens is those men now look to us dignified men who they were against. And they say, you know what? I'm ready, man. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
What?
And so now these men want to be taught, man, how can we be better men? Because we've been pookies and we've been getting all the women, getting all the buns, and we saw you dignified men not getting booty. So we didn't want to be you because the women weren't attracted to you. But now the women are attracted to you guys. And so how can we be better men? We're still leading.
No,
We're still
you're
leading.
not.
Leading at all.
Because guess what we did? We led y'all to tell y'all that
Oh my gosh.
we're going to make sure that you ladies are not getting with the wrong men. So that's us having a leadership there because you actually started listening to us.
Who changed
Because
it to?
because the problem is y'all are not listening to other women. A lot of women shun wisdom from other women. There are women who have been trying to get women right for years, and they are not listening to those women.
Pick me women.
Here we
Or
go.
the
Here we
women
go.
who are grandmas?
Hey, my example. My example right there.
Why would we
You
listen
can't,
to
you
the?
can't, you
Why
can't.
would we listen to the person who wants to stay on the plantation? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Wait. So having a dignified society is a plantation?
Having your autonomy removed from you and your humanity removed from you just to say you got picked is the plantation. Yes.
Once again,
Oh, but they're not even picked.
once again,
Once
is
again,
living in a dignified society the plantation?
that's not a dignified society. So no.
I'm proposing a dignified society. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
is living in a dignified society the plantation?
No.
Okay, then.
But that's
Again,
not
so that wasn't my point though. So what I described was not a dignified society.
That's my point. That's my point.
But you're moving your goalposts now because you're trying
I didn't
to
move a
say
goalpost.
you're trying to say
Through
that
it.
when women operate on a higher frequency and then men do, we have all these integral people, then we're not living on the plantation anymore. This is a dignified society. I'm telling you, the pygmy women who are trying to get women right are trying to keep them on the plantation. That's not a dignified society. So why is the next thing you say to me, should we live in a dignified society?
Because I talked about dignified women and you called them pygmies.
They're not dignified women. They're not.
No.
Centering men is not that's not the answer.
Dignity.
Whoa.
So
For the audience,
Whoa.
dignified is the adjective that describes a composed, serious, and stately manner of appearance that commands respect. It is closely tied to the idea of holding oneself with honor, self-respect, and poise. Where in that is a pick me? I'll wait.
Those men don't respect her. So that's one thing.
No. Question. Where is a pick me in that?
I'm explaining it to you. A pygmy is not respected by men, so she cannot be then considered composed in a way that commands respect. Completely disqualifies her. Secondly, she can be calm, right? She can be stately, but she's not noble because she's selling her humanity down the river for the validation of a human. So instead of living her life in worship of the creator, she's living it in worship of the creation. That's not noble. That's not wise. And again, she's not respected by the men who pick her. So in all those different ways, she's not dignified.
Hey, Ray.
Mm-hmm.
I asked this woman for a watermelon. She gave me a pear.
How? How'd I give you a pair?
Because you didn't answer the question. So, Mila, can I talk to you, Mila? I need help, Mila. I need help.
We need help.
Mila.
And do need help. They do.
Yeah, I know I need help.
I'm here. Sorry, I got an interview.
Mila.
Yes.
Congratulations, Mila.
I asked the ladies, I asked the panel.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I asked the ladies. Oh, baby boy or baby girl in the background.
It's a boy.
Boy.
Aw.
I'm proposing a dignified society. I asked about a dignified society.
Uh-huh.
The answer I got from Jessica was talking about pick-me's. Ain't nowhere in my definition of dignified is her explanation of what a pick-me is. I mentioned women who are dignified, who have been trying to coach women and get them right, and how many women reject the wise counsel of wise women. And I was talking about wise men who are trying to talk to men and women. Who has the woman's ear? Who can the woman listen to for wise counsel if the wise women are not able to speak to them? Who can get their ear?
I'm going to say I'm going to say the man.
I think women would reject that statement because once again, they would say, well, if I got to listen to a man, then that's centering a man. What would your response be to that?
No, I would say because I have older siblings and they are boys. So am I still here?
Yeah, we hear you. Oh, shoot. Dang.
God said, not today.
Oh, no. The devil is a liar. She was about to say some real stuff.
But she agreed with us, did she not?
No.
They did.
She said, this is what she said. She was saying, well, if they ain't going to listen to the women, then I guess they're going to listen to the man. And I'm saying, I don't think they're going to listen to him either.
So
What women are you talking about in our lives? Like our grandmothers, our mothers, what women?
Women that you respect, who you deem as dignified. It doesn't necessarily have to be family member. It could be outside of the. Go ahead, Mila.
And I only say that because if I can't go to someone, if I can't go to a female, whether it's relative, friend, or whatever the case may be, and get pointers or answers to the questions that I have, I will turn to my brothers or my uncles. Only because they've been in multiple situations, certain situations that they don't want to see somebody else go through. Or they can give you advice that you've never had before. Advice that your parents never gave you. Advice that your grandparents never gave you.
Mila, would you say that those men in your family are men that you respect?
Highly.
All right.
I went to my grandpa about my ex-husband. He's such a good guy. I respect him completely, right? But you know what he said? God can change him. I'll start praying for him. That's it. It wasn't like we were already married, and I get that. And he was like, stay with him because that's who you chose. But I don't know. I guess it's not always the right answer or the right person to ask, you know?
No, his answer probably would have been different if you weren't already married. I think J-Dub, here's one thing you got to understand about when you get married. Depending on what it is, the advice alters.
Yeah.
So if you weren't married, more probably would have been said. But because you were married, the man who tells you to leave you is going to be in trouble with God, because you can't just tell a married couple, y'all need to get a divorce because you're gonna be in trouble with God. So because he doesn't know the inner workings and he's not God, he had to tailor his information to, well, I'm gonna pray for him.
That's true.
J-Dub, are you saying that your grandfather didn't know the intricate details?
I think he knew some, but not all. No. My
So,
mom
like-
did though, and she also is a woman of God completely, and she was like, "Get a divorce now, leave him." But
She said get a divorce?
oh yeah,
Well,
See what I'm saying? The women who got some sense are telling us to leave them. Like,
Wait. J-Dub, Jessica, sorry, y'all both. Jess, J-Dub said about the intricate details. She said that her mother knew more. So her mother's opinion is going to be different from the dad.
always.
Didn't you just say that, J-Dub?
yeah, she knew of my compared to my.
She knew more, right?
yeah.
Okay, so when you know more information, this is not a gender thing. When you know more information, like for instance, I'm not gonna get in trouble with God if a woman tell me that her man's beating on her. But then she tells she tells my wife, oh, he's cheating on me, but she tells me, well, he's beating on me. Of course we're gonna have different opinions.
I didn't tell my mom that, but
We're
she
not-
had dreams about it. So I think she knew. I didn't tell my mom all that at all. Hell no, I didn't tell anyone. I was embarrassed, but she didn't know. Because she would come over and he would just stay in the room for like a whole week and wouldn't see her. She knew something was up, but like she didn't know that much. But she had dreams and stuff.
No, but I'm saying, like, we heard J-Dub's story about what her grandfather said, and I do think that you took it to heart too closely, because then you said, I can see, because I would be in trouble with God if I told you to leave. But then when we get to the opposite side where her mother heard more details and was like, yeah, he was doing all this crazy stuff, I told him to dip. I'm like, the reason why I responded to that was saying, see, when they actually knew the truth of the situation, these women who are supposed to be keeping us in a dignified society are actually telling us to leave. So when the truth comes out about the actual dynamics of these relationships, I'm sure her grandfather would have said the same thing as her mother did. So what I'm saying is,
I just said that.
but fifth, you also said that you basically said I agree with the grandfather because I don't want to get in trouble by telling you to leave.
No.
But to me, did you not just say that? You just like, yeah, because
I said it because J-Dub said there were details that he didn't know that the mother knew. So what I'm saying is, if he would have knew more information, then he probably would have said what her mother said. That's the point that I'm saying.
Stay there. But when we were just talking about the grandfather, did we know anything about what the mother knew?
No, because
So stay there.
yeah.
We didn't know anything else about what the mother knew. We only knew that the grandfather told her, I'm gonna pray for him.
That she was gonna pray for him. Yeah.
I was the one who was like, I've heard J-Dub talk about her marriage. I don't think a marriage would just break up because of some stupid superficial stuff. So let me ask J-Dub if her grandfather knew any of the intricate details, and that's how we got the mother side. And I'm saying that lack of curiosity from you, Fifth, then allowed for you to say, oh, well, see, I can see why he said that, because it would be wrong. God would be mad at me for me to tell her to leave her relationship. But we know, based on now the information about the mother, we know that she probably should have left. So I'm saying what you said in reference to the grandfather was premature, is really what I'm saying.
Okay, actually, it wasn't. So J-Dub has told me things that I won't say on the air, but I have to go within the context of the conversation that we're having right here in front of the audience. So I can't just say, well, remember what you told me? I can't do that here. I'm only going by what she's saying up here.
You can say it. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I respect people. I'm not gonna just say, well, you all,
Yeah.
because
But you know that, though.
But also,
no. Yeah, go ahead, Jada. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say also, my grandpa has helped me like move before and stuff, and this was after because I had left, not even for a month, but I left about like 3 times I think, and I went back, and so he knew stuff was happening. He knew, like, he's seen. I mean, we were together since 18, so he's been around him. He knows he didn't come for Christmas all the time. I mean, he knows so much stuff, but it wasn't like the AB. I don't think he knew that much, but who knows? Maybe he did. Maybe because that's my mom's dad, so maybe she talked to him. I don't know.
But Fifth, you knew though.
Yeah, I knew, but the inappropriate, well, not inappropriate, but a out of bounds thing would me to reveal something that she hasn't revealed right now on the show. So that's why I have to take it at how she's talking, because understand there's an audience too. When people listen to this, they need to know this part. If something is happening to you and you're going to tell one parent one thing and the other parent the other thing, just know that that's going to play a role into the answer that you get. But if you tell both parents the same thing, then we could judge that equally. So if you're a woman out there or a man, and you are having a great deal of mistreatment, whether it comes in the form of AB or infidelity, make sure that when you tell family, if you're going to withhold information from one parent to the other, understand that that is going to have a cause and effect on how a solution can become. But if you tell the parents equally, this is what's happening to me, then the parents together can have what you call a group thought on what they feel they could advise you on. I don't see how that's a problem.
I thought
we're talking about right now.
I don't know. I thought, can I say one thing too? I thought, and I'm not saying this is the right thing, but I was always told, don't talk about what you guys have going on in your relationships to outside parties. Anyway.
I said in the case of...
It don't always work.
Oh, I know. And I'm not saying it's right at all, because I think that is a form of isolation, but I just want to bring that up because people do have that narrative where they don't feel like it's right to talk about fights or arguments or anything like that to outside people.
Well, arguments, yeah, but J-Dub, DV is more than just an argument. It's okay to tell your parents if DV is taking place that you need help.
And I think that is very, very true. But I'm saying for someone who grew up in chaos like that, they're going to think it's normal. So they're just going to think it's an argument.
Okay. So, I ain't feel somebody knocking on the door.
Man, hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay, well, can I just say something? Because I think Fifth took us all around the world.
I was going to say something too, but go ahead, Jess.
Oh, no, go ahead. I know you got to leave.
I was in a DV situation for a solid 10 years because I didn't know how to walk away. It don't matter how many people I told, how many people saw, the effects that it had on my body. You just have to tell the right person or persons. Just because it's happening to you don't mean you cannot walk away from it. If you don't know how to walk away from it, there's always someone that's going to help you walk away from it. And the last 2 years of my relationship was the absolute worst. That's why I walked away. That's why I can joke about it now. That's why I tell everybody I found my footing, I found my voice, I found me.
I love that. And I'm sorry you went through that.
No, everybody go through something in life. You gotta go through something to get somewhere. So, do I feel bad for the situation that I was in? Yeah, because I could have walked away the first time it happened, but I was so overly in love and he didn't mean it and we're gonna work it out. to, oh, he doing it again. But he really don't mean it. He just had a drink of 3.
Hmm.
Maybe he just stressed. You can't be stressed for 10 years and you keep repeating the same cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And
It's only got good.
no
It's
matter,
always best to talk to somebody about something. I don't care if you had to write it down in a notebook and burn it. It's not in your mind, and it's the last thought that will be on your mind.
yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And even if you're not ready to hear it right now, that it's time to leave or whatever, because I truly think that no, it doesn't matter who tells you. Like, you have that click in your head, and I fully remember it. And it's up to the person. It's really up to you and to make that choice. But for people to listen and give you that seed of like, this isn't right, this is not how it's supposed to be, it does help a lot. But yeah, and that's why when I first came on and you were saying that it was a waste of your time, I used to think that too, but now I'm like, I learned a lot from it. And even though it probably wasn't the right way to learn it, I still learned and I grew. And maybe if I had not had that experience, then I would still be in that circle, that
Yeah,
cycle that keeps on going and going.
yeah. When I say stuff like that, Fifth, no, I be joking. I don't mean it was a waste of my time, seriously, because you always learn something from any relationship that you in.
Mm.
Yeah,
Once
I
you
truly, yeah.
once you learn what that is, you take it and run with it. So in your
Mm,
next relationship, it will never be the same.
yep.
Zacchaeus.
Hey, welcome.
Man.
He always come up looking confused. I love it.
All right. So we got 3 men, 3 women. Zacchaeus, before you came up here, Jess was trying to mess up my blood pressure.
Oh
So
wow.
He's
I'm gonna go.
lying.
I'm gonna go. I'm,
Take the elevator there a little bit. Dang, don't
I,
do that.
I need to go back to moderating. I did a 12-hour stream yesterday. All right. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
told Jess,
Long.
I text Jess yesterday and I said, look, I'm gonna be tired. I need to just moderate, but just be saying things that be
Yeah.
activating me, man.
Yeah. I
Activating.
froze. I froze. Yeah.
Yeah. She done mean it all the time. Viv, every time she come on here, it's gonna be a little slight argument.
I
It's
be
gonna be a little disagreement. It's gonna be a little this, a little that. But she give you a run for your money. It's worth it.
and
It's
you
the
know
thing.
what?
Trying
It's
to.
a good thing.
I was trying to chill because I remember I think I was talking to my mother. My mother was like, yo, you gonna have the energy to do this show tonight? And you was on TikTok for 12 hours yesterday? I was like, I'm gonna try my best.
Yeah.
But
You
y'all
doing
made it through though. Y'all made it through. And I'm sorry I
Yeah.
missed it. But Viv, I am about to get off and cook, and I'm gonna go and watch.
Part
Uh,
one. Part one.
yeah, part one. Yeah, I'm gonna go watch part one.
Thank you, Mila. I
Yeah.
appreciate you jumping on. Hey, Mila, if I do this again at the end of the year, you want a slot time again?
Yep.
Okay.
Always. I tell you, I'm always here to support.
I'm looking
And
at
the kids is
December.
back.
Yeah, I'm looking at doing another
Oh,
marathon in December. I'll
wait a
let you.
minute.
I'll let you know when the
As
stuff
long
when
as
I
it's
work it out.
after December 6th. My daughter's birthday is December 6th.
It'll be after that.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
my daughter's is December 8th. So close.
See? I always find somebody. Twinsies.
I love that.
All
Well, okay.
right.
It was nice being here. Yes, I love your topic. We will. I know I always say we'll talk on the back end, and we never do, but we need to.
Can I talk too? Let's have a group chat.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. I mean,
Go ahead. Go ahead and make group chat.
yeah.
All right.
Should.
See
Yeah.
you.
All right, Mila. Take care.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me get to my questions because I had a lot and.
Bye, Mila.
So I got a question to get back on task, and I'm gonna let everybody get their turn. Can someone? Oh, hold on, hold
Mm-hmm.
on. It's here we go. Has social media and modern dating changed who controls the pace of relationships compared to previous generations?
Very deep question. Yeah.
You want to go first, Zacchaeus?
Yeah, it did change the dynamics of dating, social media for sure. The modern day dating can't compare to the dating of back then. It's with the cost of cost of living and certain things that in factor. It's a different way of thinking now too. Different way of thinking now. It's people that lean more on material things than character than anything else. And more than it's more than they lean more on what you have in your pocket than character, and they lean on other things too. That way beyond character. So that's not even a fact. That's not even a factor anymore. When you hear a conversation on dating and aspects of dating today, listen, I've been out of dating loop for years, man. I don't even know I can't even elaborate so much on it because I've been out of the loop for so long. Yeah, it's been 20 plus years for me, you know. 20 plus years for me. I know it's a lot of online dating, I know that. So that definitely changed that right there changed the dynamics of dating compared to years ago. That right there changed the game. And the way how people think is they must think much more differently than how they think now. Much more differently. It has to deal with society, had to deal with society, how people think now. And it was more. I can go back to when I first started dating. It was a little bit more simpler, a little bit more simpler. People did stress about money, but not to this magnitude. Because as you can see, if you look on social media, it's a different ball game altogether. It's a different way of how people view the dating scene and the way how people date. Look at marriage today. Back then, every summer I used to go to a wedding. Back then, now I can't tell you the last time I've been to a wedding. It's been years.
But you could tell me the last time you've been to a baby shower, right?
I've been to many baby showers. Oh yeah. I've been to many, and the baby showers I've been to, they're not even married. They're not even married. I just go like shoot that. Matter of fact, there's another baby shower that's ruined. One of my friends, I don't know if he's married or not, but there's another baby shower coming up. No, but I can
Congratulations!
Tell you, yeah. But I can tell you
my God.
that back in the 90s, every time I turned around, there was like a wedding or somebody getting especially married. But now I can't tell you the last time I've been to a wedding or a engagement party. Do you still have engagement parties? Oh my gosh. Oh, so it definitely they're well and people are having kids just to have kids. There's women that meet this. I'm just want to have a baby. I said, wait a minute, have a baby? Yeah, I just want to I just want to have kids. That's it. Just want to have kids. Not even a committed relationship. Just kids. Just to have them. You know, that's been a talk too. Just to have kids. Not even a committed relationship. Just having kids. Just to have kids. So that old school way of thinking about you having the word wedlock is out of loop. That's like so fossil. That's like the dinosaur fossil now. Having baby out of that. Nobody talks like that. Nobody talks like that no more. You stand up at a like you have to have this, you have to have that. You know, I hear women say like so only what was it, 2 years, 3 years ago, would a woman say you don't date unless you have 50K? And then
he said if you earn 50K, don't date.
Don't date. Yeah, if you just earn 50K, you should not be dating. It's $3 water is $3 in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then I heard another one. Another young lady said, yeah, but if you can't pay for my hair and nails, you shouldn't even bother asking me out. So all these things of and on social media they have the gold diggers prank where gold diggers prank where it's like if you're not driving pushing a certain kind of whip, they're not even looking at you. They're not, and then you talk to them, and you have nothing. You talk to them, and they're not. They're just ignoring you. But as soon as you pull up with that nice whip, all of a sudden they want to get to know your name. The whole language change. So the different type of culture now. It's what you can do for me, what you have compared to your attitude, compared to do you have integrity? Are you a man with standards? Are you a man with good character? That's not even because that's not even talked about anymore. That's
not new though.
That's been pushed aside. Remember, but I'm a man talking from a guy that's haven't dated in it's the 90s. So you got to excuse me. That's what I see.
But are you trying to tell me that in the 90s, women were not going after the guys with that Chevrolet Impala 64 with the spinner rims? You really trying to tell me women did not like the
they
D-boy?
Did, but it's more emphasized now. They did.
It's just more on Front Street now. We see it more.
Yeah, it's more emphasized now. They did, but it's more emphasized now because listen. I don't know, but listen, you were probably a baby around that time. Mm-hmm. I would listen, and Ray, because Ray is, Ultimate is my age.
Hey, Zacchaeus,
we took a bus. Yeah.
Jess wasn't even born. Jess is actually pretty young.
See, you're not even born yet.
You know when I was born.
So you weren't born in 1990. You ain't that old.
Exactly.
Thank you. Yeah, be quiet.
Me and Ultimate was in high school in 1990. Okay, we were in high school.
But we know that this is not different. So when people say, it's changed, it has not changed.
It did change. It did change because I would take a bus on a date. Okay, would you date a guy would have taken a bus on a date?
I have. I just went on a date with a guy who has no car and rode a bicycle.
How much women do you? Okay, that's
wait, Zacchaeus, hold on. When?
Last week.
Last week, and this is the guy that
Did you ride handlebars? He's kind of romantic, not gonna lie.
Wait, this is the guy you really like, right?
Yeah, I did until that date happened.
Okay, so it was a guy you really liked until that date happened. What happened on the date that made you say I don't really like the guy no more?
I still like him. He was just kind of like sexual, you know. And I didn't like that. The conversation turned that way, but it wasn't about he didn't have no car. And
so how many conversations have you had with him before you went out with him on this date?
Probably like we talked all week until we went on that date. So 7 conversations.
Okay, so you've only known him for a week, or you known him before the week?
When that date happened, I had only known him for a week, possibly like 8 days.
And this was last week?
Mm-hmm. So it's been about 2 weeks now.
So you took a city bus with him?
No, I drove my car.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm saying he came on the date.
You picked him up with your car? You picked him up?
No, he will never know where I live. But
thank God.
I'm saying, yeah, I don't believe in men picking me up until they're my man. Like, you do not know my address.
Okay.
And I don't usually get to that because men be trifling. But when I pulled up in my car, he was getting off the bike. I was like, oh. Oh.
But that kind of shows like he really wanted you. You know, if he wanted to, he would.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? Put that motorsport on the bike. But it was an e-bike though, so he wasn't really like using his legs.
Those were expensive. He could have bought a car. Those are pricey. I'm not joking. They're like $2,000.
Yeah.
I must be doing something wrong. I must be doing something wrong in the dating market. Zacchaeus, you know the things that I possess in Houston.
I do.
I'm not going to give my business away.
Don't do that. But I know you. I know what you possess.
Right.
I know what you possess.
And that is looked at as not being good enough. This man pulled up on a bike.
A bike.
I must be doing
Bike.
something. I must be doing something wrong. I must
A
be
You guys
bike.
know
doing
how much
something wrong.
e-bikes are?
Hmm?
You guys know how much e-bikes are? They're pricey.
Was it an e-bike?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
They're like 3K, right?
Yeah.
You can't compare that to a vehicle. But let me see.
hold on, Zacchaeus. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, Zacchaeus.
Mhm.
This man pulled up in a bike.
A bike, yeah.
You know what I'm driving?
Yes.
Don't say it.
I'm not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. No.
Dang, I want to know.
Okay, so
I'm too nosy for this.
I'm telling you, man. These cats is out here winning.
What did he win?
I must be doing something
I
wrong.
gotta go out on a date with you. That's
Fifth, you trying to tell me you have not had a first date in like years, Fifth? Come on now.
Yeah, since my breakup.
Years?
Oh, actually, no, I'm lying. Oh God, I hope my ex is not watching this show. It's been a year
Okay, that's not bad.
since I had a date.
That was my first date in a year too. The thing that just happened.
Yeah, it's been
longer for me.
Are you gonna go?
it's
Go
been-
with him again?
it's been a year. Yeah, you gonna go out with again, Jess?
I mean, yeah, I like a good time. He promised me pickleball, but I'm not sure if I want to continue. You know,
He promised you what?
pickleball,
Pickleball?
What is that?
like tennis, but it's pickleball.
Oh yeah, I know pickleball. Yeah,
That seems
yeah.
kind of
Okay.
aggressive.
Yeah, and he promised me that, so I'm like waiting for that, but I'm just like not interested. Cause he also ain't got no license, and I'm like, you gotta be running from the feds. You ain't got no license.
Wait,
Why-
hold
Hold
Oh
on.
That's
man,
red flag.
Wait a minute.
wait.
You got no license? You said?
So he's not really on a bike.
My mama said he an alcoholic. Ain't no way.
Zach, stop the dang presses.
He's an alcoholic too. What?
I was up here for an hour. Wait. Zacchaeus, before you got up here,
Yeah.
I had beads of sweat dripping down the back of my neck
Yeah.
because I was getting all upset and telling these women to get with some dignified men, right? Right?
Yeah.
My man pulled, you know what? I need to just sell all of this, what I got, because obviously this ain't enough. I need to sell this house, that car I got, and just have a bike.
Yeah.
Because obviously life is more peaceful when you just got a bike.
A bike. Yeah.
Pulling up in a bike next time. I'm going to see if that's going to work.
You know how many DUIs you have to get your license revoked?
That's what my mom said. She was like,
Yeah.
he came on a bike and he don't have a license. Only two things could be true. He's either a criminal or alcoholic.
Pookie's Bat Swizzy says Pookies are elite women snatchers. My God.
But if he was a criminal, he'd still be driving, even without a license. So it's probably the latter.
And he didn't snatch me. This was a first date. Like,
We can't
Y'all
forget the
can
Pookies
say
and
that if I
Ray
was
Rays, man.
like
they
3
get the
months
girls
pregnant.
too. Even back then, they used to get the girls. The Pookies and Ray.
Bruh, man,
I
we
don't
can't.
understand what a
Even-
Pookie
even
and
back
Ray
then.
I really don't.
That's I'm slang lingo talking. So a Pookie is basically a man who really doesn't amount to nothing, but all he wants to do is lay up with you. He probably don't have a job, or he might have a job. He might have something more on the books. He might have something off the books, but he's really not a man with no vision. And
Like
he just
96% of y'all.
huh?
Mhm.
Nothing. I'm just joking.
I thought so. I heard part of that. Don't make me get you.
Don't get a.
I know what state you live in, J-Dub.
Oh,
It's
wow.
a huge state.
It
The
is.
violence.
It is. But
Tell
anyway,
us what car you drive right now.
I know. I want to know.
I'm just
Can we
saying,
guess?
man.
Charades.
They pulled up in a bike.
We do Pictionary.
Pictionary.
They pulled up in a
Bucky's over
bike. Hey, Zacchaeus, you want to hear something?
Yeah.
Let me tell these women how mean women could be. Like I said, you know what I got over here.
You have
I
to
ain't
stop saying that.
Right.
I ain't rich, but I'm saying Zacchaeus is a very close personal friend of mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so he knows.
I've
And
been there,
brother,
Me and
yeah.
Jess aren't close personal friends.
huh?
I said me and Jess aren't close personal friends.
No, I'm building here. Give me 1 second. Zach, I've been knowing Zacchaeus for over 20 years,
That's a no.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So Zacchaeus knows what kind of man I am,
Mm-hmm.
and he has seen me from 19 till now,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a lot of development in my life.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Had a lot of growing pains.
Mm-hmm.
All right. God has blessed me with a good increase, right?
Mm-hmm.
God is good.
God is good. God is good.
And
All the time.
I'm telling you, there have been many women that have looked at what's going on with me and said, that ain't enough. So the man pulled up in a bike. I'm gonna go get me a bike. Hey, Huffy bikes on sale? Don't
I
Huffy
used
make
to have to ride a
e-bikes?
bike to work with my daughter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Hey, look, man. Hey, fellas, forget the cars, forget the houses with multiple rooms. Get you a bike.
A bike. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Or not.
Women are doing it all for men who got bikes. Get you
Bikes,
a bike.
yeah.
Now you added that.
Wait a minute though. 'cause
You done
that's
added that last part
talking
now.
about him taking a date on the bus. So
A bike.
what's
Wait, he took so the bike was on the bus.
No, I said Zacchaeus just told us the story of how he went on a date on a bus.
Yeah, well, because we talk in New York City, that's common.
Yeah, that's common over there.
Oh.
Yeah, that's public
So
transit.
not a bus, a subway.
No, city bus and train.
Buses in
And
New York?
train, yeah.
We have city buses and trains in New York. Who don't know that?
I
Yeah.
didn't know you guys had buses too. I thought it was just a subway.
Oh no.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
Wait,
How dare you?
Oh, I don't mean
learn something from this.
Where are you from? Oh my gosh, you didn't know that?
I'm
Oh,
from
Oh,
California.
every major city like Chicago, LA got city buses. Chicago,
Yes,
LA.
no, I know. I know,
Dallas.
but I just thought it was too little. New York City is tiny,
I see you. I see your point though.
and there's traffic all the time. That doesn't seem like it would
Like,
be
how
very
can it
fast.
fit in y'all small little streets?
That part.
For the city buses?
Yeah.
How do buses fit all the fucking street anyway?
No, I mean-
J Dub, man, you F bombing.
I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry.
I mean, they got Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, Staten Island. You know, all city buses run throughout the whole boroughs. Yeah, we got major city. Transit is mass. We got mass transit. It's fast.
Anyway, let me get back to the.
Let's get back to Fitz's car.
Let me get back to the. No, we're not going. No, we're not talking about my car.
Beamer?
But yeah. So the question was to the rest of the panel: has social media and modern dating changed who controls the pace of relationships compared to previous generations? Ray, you can go.
Say big time, because as Jess pointed out earlier, everything's now on Front Street. And now we get to see what the deal is versus hearsay and just taking people's word for it because of what was not exposed. So it definitely sheds light on, where the control lies, whether you're a simp or a simpet.
I will be using that and not citing my sources. Thank you, Ray.
Yeah, it shows. Everything is revealed through social media, man. And it's just out there on Front Street now. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think so. I think it's in terms of controlling the pace, right? So Jess's argument is women control the pace of a relationship. Now, have they always? I'm just sticking. It's not that I agree with Jess, but just sticking with Jess's answer. Is it that women always control the pace of the relationship, or did that change past a certain era? And does social media have a lot to do with the way the pace of relationships go in this modern time versus maybe generations before us? That's actually the root of the question.
Has it changed?
Now, let's just answer it because Zacchaeus, go ahead, Jess.
If I'm understanding the question correctly, no, I don't believe that women had to propose to men back in the day because of the societal pressure and stigma of being unmarried and doing what people were naturally doing. I think you just had, behind closed doors kind of vibe. So yeah, I do think per person, yes. Women are now proposing more to men, leading more of the defining the relationships for men, leading more exclusivity conversations. While I still think women still held the leadership position of trying to keep the family together throughout all of human history and investing more time in relationships, I will say that women proposing to men has shifted.
J-Dub.
Yes.
Has social media and modern dating changed who controls the pace of relationships compared to previous generations?
I don't think social media has, because I think that's, we've had social media for a while now. I think MySpace came out in like 2001. And before that, we had AOL and all that. I do think, though, that like feminism changed who controls stuff. And I think it's more so because women are independent now and men aren't. So I think now we're searching for... Let me finish. I think women are searching for love and not so much the financial stuff, because marriage the whole time has been for financial reasons. That's why it was created. The biblical times and Bible brought in love to that situation, but it was still mostly for financial reasons. So I think that's what changed a lot of it, is that women are searching for love now and not so much, the stability of money or even stability of being able to do anything, voting, having a bank account, this and that. And I wanted to add too, when I first came in, you guys were talking about, don't laugh at me, feminism. Feminism was about giving the woman the choice if they wanted the traditional or if they wanted non-traditional. It's not like a set in stone. If you're a feminist, you have to, be the breadwinner. You have to not have this traditional lifestyle. It was to give women the choice, and of course other stuff like equality and stuff like that. But I think a lot of the time men think it's either or, and it's not.
So earlier when you came in that conversation, we were having a conversation about controlling the pace and the complaint of it. And what I was basically saying is, if women want to control the pace of the relationship, then why are they complaining? Because equality says that, that is something that they would like to do. If they want to do, that's their choice, right?
Well, I think a lot of the time women have always kind of been in control at the pace of the relationship, because men are going to do what they have to do to get that girl. Like, it's called chasing for a reason. There has to be a leader, and it's the woman.
But also, you said want. And I think that would be the wrong word to use.
What would be the right word?
Have to.
Have to?
Mm-hmm.
So women have to control the pace of the relationship?
To get what they want, yeah.
To get what they want?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if they don't get what they want, what happens?
There is no alternative.
Are you sure?
What's the alternative? We just talked about how people spend years trying to
this is going to be very easy for men to answer. Zacchaeus.
Mm-hmm.
If a man controls the pace of the relationship and he doesn't get what he wants, what happens next?
Break up.
Checkmate. Checkmate.
Break up, because break up right away.
Grape. Assault.
Yeah.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this.
He'll send a pigeon. He'll be outside with a boombox saying, "Pick me, choose me, love me." Like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all, like, what are y'all talking about? That there's all these able-bodied, stable people who, when they get rejection, they'll just be like, okay, thank you, God. Thank you for this lesson, and just move on. No, no, men will often try to assert what or convince her that what he believes is the right thing. And then women will do the same. I mean, I think that's why when we look at Genesis and it says the wife, her desire will be for the husband, but the husband will rule over her. People always say desire and think romantic. The desire is the desire for control. And then the man will respond by dominating her. This power control thing is biblical. So this idea that people are just going to be healthy and just be healthily separating, no, they're going to try to control each other.
Yeah, that's why when she ate the fruit, that's what it was said. That's what God said.
Well, you see what happened to them when they ate the fruit.
Exactly. And then he sold her. He was about to sell her down the river for a bag of chips. Like, just instantly threw her under the bus. I again believe because sin, when you enter into a sinful relationship, you enter into a power dynamic. And so the woman is trying to convince the man because she wants to be in power. The man will try to convince the woman because he wants to be in power. But it's not healthy either way.
When you have two control people, you know what happens? You know what happens when two people try to control each other? You know what happens when there's no compromise and there's always like a friction? You know what happens?
A fire, right?
Yes. Tornado hitting a volcano. It doesn't work. You're gonna explode, or you're gonna break up. That's what's gonna happen. Because either gonna go my way or am I gonna go your it's a tug of war.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it never works.
And I never understood either why the man is, biblical, whatever, is the leader in the house or the leader of the woman when in our very first story in the Bible, he failed at leading.
Well, you see what happens when she takes over.
Am I wrong?
Everything.
I'm like, why is he the
disarray.
choice for leadership when he failed at leading Eve?
Oh my God.
But I think, see,
don't have the
Jacob,
capacity.
the only thing I will push back on that is because what we have now is people thinking leadership means to lead me, to tell me what I'm going to do. When really leadership is leading by example. And I do think biblically, the man as the head is not supposed to be telling her, go left, go right. He's supposed to be showing her, here's how we live in harmony. Here's how to live in purity. Here's how to do X, Y, Z. And then she follows along in the good example. But I think Adam, again, we don't know, we're just speculating, but possibly could have not led well because he wasn't leading by example in some form or fashion, which then, whatever. But he couldn't control her because then he would be a dictator if he controlled if she ate the fruit or not.
But that's true, but he was supposed to not leave her at all. That's what it said. He was supposed to be by Eve the whole time, and he wasn't.
Zacchaeus, the dating market is fried.
Yeah.
Sometimes
why are you interrupting our good conversation?
Zacchaeus, I should have been like you and married younger.
Sid, now you know.
You could have ended up like me.
You could have ended up divorced now. You don't know what could have happened. You made rash decisions like that. Stop saying that.
I don't know, but I don't know. The atmosphere was a little different back then.
It is so bad out here. It is so bad out
You
here.
think?
I should have been like you and got married a long time ago. This is insane.
Early 2000s, man. Yeah.
Jesus
Why you not
Christ.
put your wife on the phone with us?
No.
Oh.
She don't like to be.
Zacchaeus, do not do it. Do not do it.
Why?
And I know your wife. Do not do it.
Nah, I won't do it. No.
Why y'all said that? Because we would disagree with her? Is that what y'all mean?
No.
I think she would like that.
She's not into the, I guess, YouTube and putting that stuff on social media stuff, Yeah.
Oh, so you the yapper of the house.
Yeah.
When I heard he said he hadn't been on a date in 20 years, I thought he's been single for those 20 years. So
He's
that
been
went
married.
right past my head.
It's 24 years married, man.
Congratulations.
And you look so young.
Thank you.
So I know she good to you.
Thank you.
That part.
I bet you would never guess how old Zacchaeus is.
What, 65?
Dang.
You said 65? You said 65?
Jesus Christ.
Ladies and gentlemen,
No, this is the way you said
got
it.
him.
He's
I
like,
was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
What about 45?
Learn something from this.
Older than
He's
that.
like 54.
Huh?
73?
Do I look 73?
Yeah,
I do.
I'm sorry. It's getting worse.
Look. Bro, the dating market is cooked, man. Listen, you know what all I heard today was? That it's just all our fault, man. Everything's just our fault. It's our fault that she picked bad. It's our fault that Eve ate the apple. Just now, we just heard that.
You guys got blamed for it. It is your fault.
It's our fault. You know what's crazy? Like, you can't win, man. You can't win.
We're all winners.
In what? If we're all winners and being by ourselves, yeah, we definitely achieved that. Congratulations.
We have community. I feel like when people are so focused on romantic relationships, they miss all the love that's readily available for them. All the community, all the acceptance, all the belonging. Like, you will not unalive if you never get married.
But humans do need human connection. So
Thank you.
But not
again,
romantic.
you can have
human
connection outside of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
but I think that's
exactly
why a lot of men unalive faster, because they don't have those connections that women do.
Now, J-Dub, I read something recently that a lot of times men's emotional connection will be to their significant other.
Yes.
So when the breakup happens, men often go through a deeper, darker isolation because she was his confidant.
I can see that.
And he kind of offloaded all on her versus having a support system of men that he was emotionally intimate with.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
And I kind of think like, obviously that's wrong, that's bad, but it's I think it's a system that's set up because for men to have the opposite, then they are afraid of being called, GAY and stuff like that, or saying they doing too much. Yeah, like, why are you going out with your friend? Why are you always going out to eat with your friend? I just saw a Mojo Brooks comedian thing where the guy went to a comedy show with his friend, and he's like, "Y'all together at 9:30 at night?" Like, it's just, and again, it was funny, but that's a real stigma I think men want to avoid, the appearance of I'm hanging out with my homeboy too much. We going to movies together. Like that's my woman. And therefore it's harder to create stronger emotional connection. So they do it with their lady.
But that's like saying though, because men always complain to us that we're too emotional, but that's not us not being emotional with like our people still, I feel like that kind of, it still puts blame on society and not men. Why are we caring so much what other people think or say about us?
Zacchaeus.
Yeah.
There you have it. It's all our fault, man. We can't
Did I just
get
say
right.
y'all's a victim? Did I just say that?
We can't get right. We just can't do it, man.
I love
can't do it.
This is a problem because men have selective hearing. So y'all can't get better. If y'all were the problem, y'all couldn't get better because y'all don't actively listen. Example A.
On that note, I'm gonna head out, y'all.
Yeah, man. God bless you, brother.
God bless.
Once again, thank you for your topic yesterday, man. Man. The contribution to the marathon stream was dope, man.
Thank you.
Your portion will be up Wednesday.
Okay, cool.
All right, on YouTube, okay? All right.
Okay, thank you. All right, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, Jess.
What did Golden call him yesterday?
Bye.
Zacharias?
Yeah.
Bye, Fifth.
Peace. Golden. Shout outs to Golden.
Y'all say it, Zach. Yes.
I'm sad I missed the one where it was talking about who had it worse, like during divorce, the parents or the children. I'm so sad I missed that one.
Oh,
I had a lot to say.
That was last Thursday.
I know you should run that back one time.
Yeah. I'm being cynical when I say what I say about how it's all our fault. I'm not being that serious. I don't believe it's all our fault. I don't.
Because ever since I came on here, I've been hearing it's all the woman's fault.
That's what you heard?
Yeah.
I was giving women advice on how to end up with better quality men.
All you said was pick better.
Yeah.
No. I said there goes that selective hearing that men are being accused of. I said getting dignified men as a network of helping with vetting out the man that you bring to him. That's what I said.
Again, how is that helpful? How is that?
Did you the reason why you don't think it's helpful is because you haven't experienced it.
No, I'm not saying the community vetting isn't helpful because I've already said that on your panel, in lives, on my YouTube, right? I truly believe in the community part. What I'm saying is we're talking about how do we individually get women to have better options, right? And me and J-Dub said, you said pick better. And then you said, no, I said,
no.
Plenty of men around.
I said when you choose yourself, that it's been proven that you guys don't pick better.
That's another point you made, and I'm not talking about that.
No, that's the point I made. I didn't say we'll just pick better. I said you will get help, and that help will help you pick better.
Also, I thought that men were the one who picked the relationship or in control of the relationship. So isn't it them picking us?
Jess doesn't seem to think so.
She asked
I
me
don't
you,
think
Finn.
so either. It's just a talking point.
Don't let him push it on me. She asked you, Finn.
I do believe men control. I said that men control the pace of the relationship. I said the only time I said women influence relationships, but I said when it gets down to the crust of it, that men control it.
No, but that wasn't my thing. I'm saying we always hear all the time that men are in control of relationships or that they pick the woman.
Mm-hmm.
So how is it the woman's fault that we have to pick better, but it's them picking us?
Not all women have had those results. Shout outs to the women who've had good results because they still exist. Nobody talks about them enough. Shout outs to the women. I'll say it again. For those who think I'm biased, shout outs to the women who've done very well, who are in happy marriages, who have done the right thing to get the good man, or vice versa, the good man who got the good woman. Shout outs to those people because those people don't get enough love and respect. Now, okay. Well, let me wrap it up because
answer the question, Fifth.
Well, I'm gonna get to it before you go, and and I don't need to be here this long because I didn't did 12 hours yesterday. But so this is what I'm saying: women. Dang, what was the question again?
And we don't actively listen.
My brain is tired. I was live for 12 hours.
You were grandstanding on your point instead of answering Jada's question. She asked twice. Why is
she asked another question?
No,
it was
the
same question.
Maybe you asked it.
Why are you addressing women picking better and them getting a community of men to vet with them because they don't pick well if men are the pickers and women just get picked?
Because of the topic of the time is what women are ending up with. Now, if you wanted me to talk about the men, yes, men need to have a network themselves that would have them help them vetting. Shout outs to the men who have dignified women in their family that can help them with how women are.
But see, that's the issue. People always bring up women first, and I believe that we do that. And I know you got a shoulder on fifth, but I'm just saying, like the general person in the general conversation, always bringing up the woman first because they're low hanging fruit. We're always addressing women dressing more modestly, so we can control how ravenous men are with their lustfulness. So she got to be different, so then it'll inspire him to be different, but he's still a leader. She's got to be more modest. She's got to be submissive, so it will inspire him to want to pick her to make her a wife. But he's the leader. All I'm saying is that we always address the women, but the women are not the CEOs of the society. And last time I checked, if a company is bleeding money, you're not looking at the social media girl and asking what she's doing. You looking at the leadership. You're looking at the board. You're saying, what's the leadership doing? And why is this company bleeding money? And again, the company here is society. So society is failing with marriages, failing with over baby mamas and all this stuff like that. I don't know why we keep bringing in the social media girl if the men are supposed to be the leaders.
You don't believe men are the leaders. And the reason why we were talking about women is because you started your opening with women controlling the pace of the relationship. So if women control the pace of the relationship, then they also are going to have all the responsibility of how the relationship goes if they are controlling it.
Did I say they should, or was I expressing what happens? Because what the argument you're making is that I don't believe men are leaders or should be leaders or are capable of leaders, all those things. And I never said that. I think men should be the leaders. I think what we have right now is a lack of positive male leadership. I would love to get to a place where men are the leaders and are the examples. But what we currently have are women leading relationships, proposing. So I was just bringing up something that's currently happening in society. I wasn't saying that thing is intrinsically good. I think those are two different conversations.
No, because women, I mentioned the men who you don't have to do this with. And what I was saying was that a lot of women are trying to force the men that they want to do the things that they need to get them to do to move, as opposed to getting with the men who they don't have to do that for. But let me actually help you out, because you know what the notion is? Mm-hmm. And this is why I said the good women don't get enough credit, or maybe they get called pick-me's. Because the men who actually are leading healthy are with these women. But you know what happens? The women who got to lead men call those women pick-me's.
Untrue.
Yeah. I talked about a dignified woman, and the first thing you said was pick-me.
You didn't say dignified at first. You said
I did. I did. You know this is recorded,
society.
Right?
You said
I said a dignified
society.
Yes, a dignified society of
and you
dignified men and women.
And then, you said dignified society, and then you also said that women who are trying to help women make better decisions.
Wise women.
Yeah, you said they don't get listened to. And
they don't.
I was like, yeah, because they're pygmies. Yeah. So then you conflated.
There it is. I know. If you're not going to listen to wise women, then you reject wisdom.
They're not wise. That's what I'm telling you. You believe they're wise.
No.
And we're saying I'm saying they're not wise because they're pygmies.
No.
You believe they're wise because they are teaching women how to get picked, how to be in community, how to get married.
Didn't say
and
that.
And a lot of the time, they're mothering those men.
Didn't say that.
Sid,
didn't say that.
Are you
this
trying
is
to
what
say
I said.
Okay.
Jess, this show is recorded.
It is.
So people could who have a brain could rewind.
And they should.
I mentioned dignified men and women. I mentioned a dignified society. I mentioned wisdom, right? I mentioned all those things. And what I said is that there are many women who reject wise counsel period, from men and women. So if we have women, if we're going to, since they don't want to listen to men, since they don't want to listen to wise men, wise and dignified men, then we'll give them the wise and dignified women. Then they reject that. So who are they going to listen to? And if they don't listen to them, then they are to their own devices and they could pick what they want and they have the results that they want. And then they have to deal with the consequences.
And I was trying to tell you, and I'll again, I'm not going against the fact that wise counsel should be listened to. I'm saying for us to define a certain type of person as wise counsel when they really in their lifestyle are pick-me's, that cannot be considered wise counsel. That's all I'm saying. You got to test the fruits of these people that we consider wise counsel. I don't think there's enough wise women who are actually helping women be in successful marriages. They are just helping to manipulate men to pick them. And that's not good for marriage.
This is sad.
But I did have a question.
This is sad.
But
I'm with Jessica.
Of course you are, but this is sad.
Can I ask a question though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I do want to bring up something that feels dichotomous. At first, we were talking about women forcing men to be exclusive and to be in a relationship. And I think we all agreed that was bad, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't then understand how later in the conversation we can say to women, hey, y'all need to operate on this higher frequency so then you can force men to evolve. I don't understand how that kind of force by or forcing them to do better because they have no other option is okay, but then the other forcing him to be exclusive because I'm gonna keep pressing you about it and you have no option is not okay.
The conversation was, and it was a question that J-Dub asked, and it was about why are we not holding the men accountable for not being good men, and in the choosing in the circle of the women and what they pick, and then I'm basically telling women that they have a choice. It's funny how the non-feminist man is telling y'all that y'all have a choice, but I'm getting pushback.
You're not answering the question.
I find that very interesting. No, I'm still on it. Check this out. Still on it. So, God forbid, I teach women to have standards, morals, principles, and ethics, which that would help them in terms of rejecting the men of low intelligence, low vibration, whatever people want to interpret it. It's funny how I'm teaching that and getting pushback. I'm basically telling women, right? Because, Jess, you said feminism supports, freedom of choice, right?
Yeah.
And the feminists,
say that, but I agree.
And the feminists have a problem with me saying that. I said that we slap them as men that you shouldn't be with. Just earlier, you said you got a problem with women becoming enlightened and the men falling behind. But then I said, well, there's the dignified men that you don't that you ignored. What will happen is you will turn your direction and say, you know what? You guys were right. We're tired of the bad boys. We're tired of we understand that we've heard don't save her. She don't want to be saved, but please save me, dignified men. Please save me. You tried to tell me for 100 years to not be with these men, and now I hear you because I'm not getting what I want. You reject those men. Mm-hmm. Crickets.
I have a question though.
Go ahead.
He didn't answer my question at all.
Oh, okay.
No, it's okay. He didn't answer. He's not going to answer it. Go ahead, Jada.
Wait, I did answer your question.
You did.
No, you know what I did? I actually corrected you because you actually represented me in what I said earlier. So my rebuttal was actually correct on what I said.
No, because you brought up J-Dub, and I wasn't bringing up nothing about
J-Dub had a question, and that question led to me and your dialogue.
But it had nothing to do with J-Dub. All I was asking is why now you feel differently 2 hours later. That has nothing to do with J-Dub, because before J-Dub got here, we were talking about women pressing men and that being wrong. So for the first thing to bring up is J-Dub is kind of why we are saying stop bringing women up.
No,
I'm trying to address you and you bringing up a woman.
No, you brought up women as the key of the conversation.
But in my question, did I bring up women or did I say you, Fifth?
No, you said
you feel differently.
No, you said women forcing. I agree that women should not force men to change for them, right? I guess that was the overall thing you said, right? I agree with that. What I said was when you stop accepting these men, the men will be. Now I remember I said then survival of the fittest happens.
Yeah.
And the men, because of survival of the fittest, because of how nature works, they will be forced to change their behavior by seeking us as the dignified men to get them right, because they will no longer have the results of getting you without putting up any effort that you've been giving them. But the core women that you're speaking to were attracted to those men, but those men were not stepping up to the plate and being honorable and responsible men that they should be.
But Finn, that's what I'm asking you.
Go ahead.
That's literally what I'm asking you. The thing you just said is why is her forcing exclusivity in one place, or her forcing or controlling something in one place is bad, but then again, because when you tell the story about these integral men going into the camp of the women and then trying to tell them, hey, y'all need to stop giving them access to you so the bad men can come to us, it sounds like a big play of control. That the integral guys, instead of doing what is more inconvenient, which is to go into the men's camp and address them, they go into the women's camp and address the women and say, women, you need to go and stop doing this so we can have an opportunity to finally be leaders. That's the problem. Stop addressing us. Go to them. And I know they probably won't listen. Again, I think it's a twofold thing where you have to remove the desire. Like I get, like, why would a man buy a cow if he can get the milk for free? I agree with that sentiment 100%. So I don't think it's a one thing or the other. I think it's both and. My only problem is that in my particular, content and stuff like that, I address the women. So why, when men talk about it, can't they address the men? And it'd be a twofold issue, but men always want to address the women.
I was trying to address the men, but like I said, you made women the top of the conversation. I basically told men that men need to. First of all, this is what I said to men. Men need to become dignified, because dignified men, I know you hate that word because I said it a million times, but I'm going to say it because that is a theme of my talking point.
No, you just never said that.
Dignified men, and I'll use your men. Well, I said integrity. You said integral, right? So I said dignified, integrity, and honor. Men who have dignity, who are dignified, who have integrity and honor, those men are not the problem. So what I do is that I want men to become that. But you can't force men or women to become these things. They're going to want to have to do that on their own. The examples that we can set start in the house. Fathers should be able to tell their daughters. Fathers should be able to teach their daughters on the men they should watch out for, right? Is that a good or a bad thing?
That's a good thing.
Okay, so that's dealing with the women in our house, at least, right? We're going to teach our sons to be dignified men and only be with dignified women.
You've never said
There
that.
are not the They are not the problem. Dignified men and women are not the problem. Once again, I repeat, dignified men and women are not the problem. Okay, that's why I talked about a dignified society. Whoever who doesn't want to be in that dignified society will be left, who will be left behind. Some people have to be left behind, Jess. And that includes men and women. And if survival of the fittest don't get them, and they don't want to be right, then what's going to happen? They are going to be excommunicado. So this is what I want women to do. I'm challenging men to be dignified. I'm challenging women to be dignified. If you want better results,
But
change who you are. And fellas, don't you ever, if you call yourself a dignified man, don't you ever get with a woman who's not dignified. 1 + 1 = 2. Answered.
You've never
Ladies,
said that before.
Ladies, if you are dignified, like you say you are, then real recognize real. You are going to know that the man that that is across from you is not a dignified man. Don't deal with him. But if you are going to ignore the counsel of wisdom in a dignified society, you are on your own.
I don't think you get what she's saying though, and I could be wrong here. But
No,
saying,
because I'm speaking logically, and
No,
logically.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm speaking logically. Sometimes
You're
logic,
not.
is a problem.
You're grandstanding. That's what you're doing.
I'm trying to.
Because you've never said these things before about the men. And that's all J-Dub and I have been trying to say for the last hour and 30 minutes is stop talking about us. And this whole thing about fathers and men should want to be better and what men need to do. You have not been talking about what men need to do. You've been talking about men being forced into doing something because the women stopped giving them the benefit of it. That's what we've been talking about for the last 2 hours and 47 minutes.
I said the non-dignified men, y'all should stay away. See, somebody's gonna watch this show, right? And they're gonna be like, you know what, Fifth? You spoke it, but you were you said it in 5 words as opposed to 100 words. That's what people are gonna say. They're gonna be like, Fifth, you did in the beginning delineate. Oh, there goes that word I love to use.
No, because she was saying, I had asked, why aren't we putting the blame on the men? And then you said, no, well, yeah, that's true, maybe, but you guys need to stop giving them access so that they will change.
Y'all was up here for an hour and a half blaming the men for all the shortcomings and the results and outcomes that you have when you choose for yourself. You were blaming the men the whole time. And I let it happen. And I told Zach Kears that the dating market is cooked and that everything is our fault.
Is it blame or
did you forget that?
We talked about if y'all want to assume the role of leader, what a leader would do in this situation. But what we're seeing is that people just want a title and none of the responsibility that comes with a title. And of course, that also happens on the women's side. Women want the title of wife and then don't want none of the responsibility of having to compromise. Agreed. We're talking about this one thing about society being a large company, and the leaders of this company are always addressing the social media girls. And that's a very small, I think a clear concept of how we keep wanting women to be different to then force men to be different. Instead of doing, again, the harder thing, which is to restructure the company. We want to start firing people, start taking away their benefits, start doing all this stuff. Tell the workers to be different instead of restructure the company, because it's low-hanging fruit to attack the worker bee than to address the honeycomb or whatever, And that's what I'm hearing. Every time we bring up women, when we're talking about what men don't do.
Jess, this is your topic.
And I'm doing a great job.
She really is.
No. You thought you ate some food just now when you said that. This is your topic, and you led the conversation with women, doing everything, doing it all. You're the one who spotlighted.
You derailed.
Jess, what I'm saying is you're the one who spotlighted women. You did. I asked you earlier, are these women wise women who do these things with these men? You said no. And I said, okay, so then are they foolish women? You agreed. You said yes. So then I said that this is how we solve it. The women that you're speaking of, we need those women to stop doing the right things for the wrong man. That was too simple of an answer, right? And I got pushback.
Well, you got pushback because you brought that up before we were done speaking about the dynamic of control and how somebody gets there. So it's like the next time you contributed to the conversation, it was, oh, okay, so women bad, and here's how women cannot be bad. And we weren't there.
Not women being bad, making bad decisions. I don't think a woman.
I'm being facetious when I say that. I'm just saying you really didn't contribute to the dynamic of control we were talking about, where women are desperate, and that's what we were on. The next thing you said was, and women are not wise, and here's how women can get wise: is they need to stop making decisions by themselves and get other men, and so then they'll force the men to want to be with them. But women, if you keep giving bad men good treatment, you'll never get that. And I think that was moving the goalposts a little bit, because that wasn't the conversation we were talking about.
Okay, let me do the final 10. There's a portion that I've
After we're done with that, can I say one thing? You can.
Yeah, you can. I'm gonna do, because Ray gotta go and then Jess gotta go. So I'm gonna do the final 10. I want to answer Jess so freaking bad.
Don't, please.
That it's making the hair on the back of my neck stand up. But I'm going to for the people who are smart, just rewind, because I've already crushed Jess's argument. Okay, very easily. I did it actually in the first hour.
No, and can I say one thing then? And we don't even have to talk about this, but I just want to say, because it has to do with this. You know how that guy came up and he was making comments, maybe it was a woman, about how women are with, men that aren't good, and then after they break up with them, they want to be with the good guy. But he even said, no, we're not going to do that, right? Because they made their choice. They can't be with the good guy now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how is it any different than women who stop picking the bad men to force the bad men to change? Why do those men get a second chance but women don't?
I never said those men get a second chance.
But you said they're going to be good guys now so that they can get the women.
No. Not that they can get the women. I said that survival of the fittest is going to force them to change, because they're no longer going to get the results that they used to get from you anymore, because you have changed and you have elevated your standards and your principles and morals and ethics. Yeah. And so what's going to happen is two things. They're going to either come to us and get right, or they're going to be left behind. Just like women who don't want to get right. They're going to be what? Left behind too.
Fifth. What are you getting right for, Fifth?
A wife. Yeah.
So what are you talking about? You're splitting hairs right now.
Yeah, because it's the same thing as women who are in bad relationships. Normally, they go to counseling. They look within. They see what's wrong, how they change. They are a whole different person, and they did the work to do that. And you're saying it's the same thing, but switched. But women don't get that same
second chance.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
So,
but men supposedly are going to get this second chance.
No. It's not that men. Okay, how are they getting a second chance? You mean they're getting a second chance with the women who upped their standards and rejected them? Where's the second chance coming from?
They're getting a second chance. They've changed who they are, and they're not these, like you guys say, Pookies and Ray Rays or whatever. That I don't know, but they're changing who they are so that they can get a wife.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. But the girls, the women who were in these bad relationships, they can't learn their lesson, and they can't fix themselves to get a husband.
No, I don't.
She's not saying you said that. She's saying that.
Yeah. I'm saying the guys.
Right, because let me tell you what I believe. I believe a woman can get right. She has the Men and women both have the potential to get right. Potential. But they have to want to do the work. The context that you were talking about, J-Dub, hold that. I'm going to get to that. Let me get this before Ray goes, because I'm actually going to answer your question, J-Dub. I promise, actually. So, these are yes or no questions, are true or false, right? Everybody can answer them. It's a solid 10. So, true or false, the person who cares less controls the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
What do you think, Ray?
True.
Okay. Yes or no, men usually decide when a marriage happens.
True.
False.
Yeah, false. I think it's a dual thing.
Agree or disagree? Women usually decide when their relationship becomes serious.
True.
Okay, you agree. Okay. What'd you say, Jessica?
You can say Jess.
Okay. And Ray, what'd you say?
I said you can say Jess, not yes.
I say sometimes.
I don't know.
So you're kind of more like in the middle.
Yeah.
You don't agree or disagree.
No, because I've been on both ends.
Okay. All right. True or false? If someone says I'm not ready, they're usually saying I'm not ready for you.
False.
Could be more true.
Some truth to that.
I think that's true. Yes or no? It's okay to give someone an ultimatum about commitment. No.
No. No way.
Yeah. That's a no.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I don't think it'll work.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's effective, but sometimes I do think you got to get that stuff out.
Sometimes leaning more to a no, or sometimes leaning more to a yes.
Can I say 50-50?
Can you give me 51% of an answer?
Okay, I would say 51% no, 49% yes.
Okay, good. Agree or disagree? Love and timing are equally important.
True.
I agree. I agree.
More important.
You think, huh?
I said I obviously they're both very important, but I think timing is a little bit more. You could love someone, but love ain't gonna pay the bills.
Why did I predict that someone was gonna say that? True or false? Waiting more than 2 years to define a relationship is a red flag.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
I'd have to say true.
If we're not married at the end of these 2 years, I'm out of there.
That's your ultimatum. Okay.
See, I don't know. I think 2 years is too soon to get married.
No, it says define relationship. It doesn't say marriage.
I think she was just addressing what I said, though.
Oh, okay. Yes or no? One person can carry a relationship to the next level by themselves. No.
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 That's a no. Agree or disagree? Oh, J-Dub, what'd you say?
I don't know.
You don't? You don't know? Okay. Agree or disagree? Whoever is willing to walk away has the most power.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Agree.
Fully agreed.
Strongly agree. What do you think, J-Dub?
Say the question again.
Whoever is willing to walk away has the most power. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Really? Okay, one word answer. One word answer. We're getting to how we wrap up the topic. One word answer. Who controls the pace more, men or women?
Women's.
Women.
Right?
Ooh. Women.
We love a strong
I was
king.
rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn
Oh, we love
something
that
from
black
this.
king. Ray, God bless you.
Uh,
Hope your sheets are warm.
I'm gonna say men, but okay, all right. Hey, look, I have to practice what I preach. I said that I welcome opinions, and it doesn't have to necessarily be mine, and I'll take it for what it is, and it is what it is. Actually, I have no problem with how these questions were answered, and I'm glad I introduced this segment to the show because it just makes things very complete and defines how we wrap up the topic. So, dang, J Dub, I wanted to answer J Dub's question. I just wanted to do this before you and Ray.
What was
left.
our question, Fifth?
Huh?
What was our question, Fifth?
I don't remember.
You just gotta go off.
but she was gonna remind me. I would have definitely let her remind me.
And then you would have just said something off the dome, Fifth. And that's the problem with you.
She's back. J Dub, you remember your question for me?
I already. I'm
say?
losing service, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, remember you had a question and I said hold that thought so I could do these
I'm
last 10
losing
questions.
service. No, I already asked you my question.
Yeah, I don't remember it. Did I answer it fully? Yeah, I don't remember. I feel bad that I don't remember. I really did want to answer it too.
I don't think you did.
No, I did.
Don't
lie.
lie.
Ask you questions all day, Fifth.
No, I did. I did want to answer it. I know. I understand. I have to.
You said you had a question for me.
No, you had a question, and I said hold that thought, and I'll answer it. I forgot what it was. But anyway, look, y'all know me. I have to still be interested and entertaining at the same time, but I answer questions. I try to be as patient as possible because I do want to get down to it. I
said
do
you had a
topics.
question for me though.
I don't remember that. I said I had a question for you. I don't remember. I had a question for J Dub, or did I have an answer for J Dub? Yeah, I don't remember.
My signal's so low, so if it dies on you guys, I'm sorry.
No, it's so good. I'm about to end the show anyway. Hey, everybody wanna let me get you go ahead and announce your what you got going on, your socials and everything. Go ahead, Jess.
Okay, hi.
Or do you have a final thought? Did you still want to do a final thought? This is your topic. Forgot to ask that.
I guess my final thought is that I truly believe in the biblical structure of the family. I would even consider myself a feminist. You know?
Wait. You consider yourself a what?
A feminist.
We converting out here.
You didn't convert. That's the brand of feminism that has always been a part of me. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is feminism doesn't contradict with feminist. I just want to say that. But what I want to say is that because of my strong belief in the biblical structure of family, that's not what's happening. It's been such a strong adulteration of what it means to be the head of something, what it means to be a husband, what it means to be a wife. And that's why we're seeing so much chaos nowadays, because we don't follow the blueprint. And I truly believe that marriage is an open book test, and we are failing it because people want to be the god of their relationship. They want to create their own rules. They want to follow culture. And so we could just we can actually turn to the Bible and actually do what the Bible is telling us to do, then we could avoid all of these power dynamics, power struggles, all of these single mother households, all these people in jail or under, 6 feet under. I think we could really have progress. Yeah, you can follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Just the Romantic. I got a workbook coming out called Single and Satisfied, where I'm helping women navigate modern relationships with a biblical perspective.
Man, I actually agree there. Ray, any final thoughts?
What she said. Let me stop. There's a lot. There's a lot of truth to what she said, and
That's funny.
the whole thing is, I don't think we're human beings. We're not robots. But I just think that when it comes to how the pace goes or how progression goes, the goal should still be mutual. And I think that when you take control out of it, it'll be more meaningful because to those of us who know what ego is, when you eliminate the ego and you have a mutual goal, everything will be gravy. And as I always say, my whole government name is on Facebook. On TikTok, I am Ultron. And on Instagram, I am Bannister Racy.
That's what I'm talking about, my boy Ray. J-Dub, you have any final thoughts? Hopefully you can still hear us out there. She did say something about our service was nervous.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. You have any final thoughts on tonight?
Okay.
Topic?
Just that I think if we all help each other, like men help the men and women help the women, I think we would have a much more, just like a better approach at everything. I think we need to stop putting blame on the other gender and just start focusing on our gender and helping make them better.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Self-betterment. Yeah,
I agree with that and actually say it. Contrary to what people think I say and don't say, I actually do agree with that. I think I believe I sat up here. My whole theme was talking about dignified men and women. The whole time.
Really?
Being the leaders of the community. The whole time.
I didn't hear that, but possibly.
Yeah, that's okay. This show's recorded. You could always rewind. My final thought is more of a thank you than anything. I want to thank everyone on the panel. I want to thank everyone who has supported the stream yesterday on TikTok. TikTok limited somewhere during the live my reach and just hurt my momentum. I thought that was very disrespectful. I did not violate a guideline, and I think that was foul. But because I am a professional, the show must go on. I kept the show going. And I respect everyone from coming up. People see me and Jess do our debates, but me and Jess are friends. We're fine. It's good entertainment for y'all. Although we do believe what we believe. Okay, so this ain't fake entertainment. I'll say that. But I do understand the entertainment portion because otherwise you guys wouldn't watch it. It'd be boring. All right, so we got to have energy. We got to have a liveliness to these broadcasts. But at the end of the day,
we bring the viewers in.
Right, but we do love and respect each other. I would like to think, and I love when everyone comes on here. Thank you, Ray, for coming in. You're welcome anytime. I'll just hit you up and say, "Come on, brother." You know how it is.
Thank you.
So I want to thank everybody who's contributed to the show. See, Bat Swizzy says I agree with J-Dub. I agree with J-Dub too. I do. I really do. So
look at that. Yeah. There's a first.
Well, J-Dub, you didn't say nothing wrong. You said something that was actually what most people who are dignified would agree with. There goes that word.
That word.
But there you go. That's the word I'm gonna be using a lot now for delineation. But no, I definitely love and respect everyone for coming on today, for coming on the platforms. Whatever you guys got going on, you could always promote it here. It may be my channel, but hey, this is for everybody. Okay. So, I definitely love and respect everybody. I actually do have a final thought, actually. Okay. In terms of controlling the pace, men and women, I think, men, I really think it's up to us first. This is something that I speak on my podcast with me and Zacchaeus. I actually think it's up to us first. I think we definitely can lead the charge of whether it's in community, whether it's in fatherhood of our sons and daughters. We could definitely lead the charge in picking the right women that we marry and have families with. One of the things Malcolm X said was the woman is the first teacher, so you have to be very careful on the woman that you bring into your nation that you want to start a nation with. So I actually agree with that. I think what's happening is that, and maybe in a good or bad way, there are men who have kind of forfeited from the current dated market as it is. And some of them are deciding to be loners because they feel it's better that way. We've seen women do the same. But what I'm here to say is this: if we could just get the right people together, then we could start a new generation. Sometimes old generations got to die off. And I don't mean die off disrespectfully, but they just have to die off because they're not contributing to society in a better way. One of the responsibilities that I believe, especially someone who's going to be 40 years old next year, is that instead of me, I have to be the one to now train up the next people. It's not about me anymore. The elders, they've done the hard work, and now it's time for them to chill. Now it's time for us to pick up the heavy loading. I am what they call getting in my unk generation. The uncle generation, when they call you unk, right? So I still have time to affect and change this world in the world that I want to see fit. I think that is my responsibility. I think that is all of our responsibility. It's not about us anymore. When you get my age, it's not about you anymore. And it never really was to begin with. But it's all about what you're going to do and pass down to the next generation that is going to be positive, fruitful, and successful. There it is. Y'all can reach me at, let me go ahead and I see what you, oops, wrong one. Y'all can reach me at the Fifth General, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Fifth General TV, YouTube, Fifth General TV, TikTok. For those who follow me on TikTok, I'll see y'all Thursday. I don't have a topic. I'm thinking of one. But I go live on Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 Central. Fifth at night every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Central on YouTube. All right?
Do the other one again for Thursday. Run it back one time.
So I would have to do something different and come back to that topic. But you know what I had to do, J-Dub? I would have to word it a different way, because for people who come on the panel, they're going to say, didn't you just do this last Thursday?
Oh, that's
so
true.
So just give me a chance to come back to that topic in the future. Or I could actually
in there.
Yeah. Right. But I'll think of a topic. And if you have an idea, you can give it to me.
Shoot, I got a lot of ideas.
Yeah, I allow people to give me ideas and things that I could talk about on TikTok. I really do.
Okay.
I take that feedback. I take that suggestions. I do.
Good.
All right. All right, I'm out, y'all. Let me get some rest.
Bye.
12 hours yesterday was crazy.
Thank
Let me
you,
get some rest.
sis.
No problem, Jess. We'll keep in touch. I gotta text you something, okay?
Okay, send me a picture of that car though when you text me.
And then Jess, send it to me after, okay?
It's dirty and needs to get clean. But
outside.
yeah, but I drive
Beamer.
Anyway, no, I don't drive a Beamer.
Cadillac.
My car ain't that
Bentley.
extravagant. It's just fun. I just have a fun car.
Oh, okay.
And I was low key being a hater because a man with a bike got you.
An e-bike.
I didn't know he had a bike when I went on the date, y'all.
And he didn't even get her. He doesn't have her.
He doesn't.
No, but you know, you're right. All right, y'all take care. I'll see y'all.
Bye, Viv. Bye,
All right.